Boom.
I don't know if that light's too much or not.
Nah, you're good. We are recording. So
Hello.
I
What up?
guess since we have Kyle as a guest and he's normally not on, I guess you can just kind of introduce yourself. I will say that you edit my YouTube videos. Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah. No problem.
But yeah, if you just want to talk about like where you're from and stuff.
So my name's Kyle. I go by Kinger on everything social media. I'm originally from Michigan, but now I live in Florida, and I'm 27. And yeah, I edit Danny's YouTube videos. I do a ton of different things in the creator space. Have like my own little business and stuff, and I work for my other buddy doing videos and all his social media, TikTok, everything at a auto and marine restoration shop down here in Florida. So I handle all that for him, and yeah, that's about it.
So the majority of what you do is editing, you would say?
Or no, I honestly like the editing is still like editing is something I always did for all my content, but then, you know, how I even got to be Danny's editor, I guess we should say that, is I watched this other YouTuber streamer, his name's Big E, and he had just said that he retweeted Danny saying that Danny was looking for an editor, so I was like, you know what, might as well try. And I guess I was one of the first people that messaged you, and I sent work of what I've done for like my own personal videos and stuff, and you liked it, and then here we are. Now I'm your editor. So, but you're really like the first person that I've like edited for full time. I've done like TikToks and stuff on the side. I've done YouTube videos for people, music videos, that kind of stuff. But more so, like I do videography. That's kind of like more so I would say my passion than editing in that. And I do content creation myself. So, yeah, I'm kind of all over the place.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stay very
busy. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, every day is like my mind is like all over the place, and I gotta do this, and this. Like, I'll work on probably like 3 to 4 different things in a day. You know, just different tasks for each thing that I do. Really started doing the auto shop work last week. That was my first full week in the shop.
Nice.
And just getting videos out. We already, our third video, the 4 we had posted at the time. The last 3 and 4 was like a part 1, part 2 series of a car that we did. Blew up, and it's had almost 100,000 views. And that was our 3rd TikTok that we uploaded to there. So that's been fun. But I've been working a lot on that too, aside from editing for Danny. But I would say editing for Danny and working at the auto shop is most of my time. But I have a side business. I started doing rugs because I got inspired from people on TikTok. So I make custom rugs now too. So I try to just be creative as hell. Like I'm just a creative person, and anything in that space is what I like to do. So
yeah,
stay busy.
I know we've talked a couple times because I was like, hey man, sorry I didn't get this because I got all this going on, and you're like, yeah, I get you, and then now it makes more sense while you understand. Like I
definitely understand. I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing YouTube and shit. Granted, I'm not big like you guys, but I have been doing YouTube and been a part of like the YouTube space since you couldn't even get paid on YouTube. Like I've been around when Shane Dawson was huge, Jenna Marbles. I'm trying to think everybody that's like super old on the platform.
Smosh.
They're like my age. Smosh. Yeah. Fred, when Fred was big.
Equals 3.
Equals 3. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All that, man.
Dude, he still makes TikToks and stuff like that. He's actually still
I had
like,
seen
in that
some
space.
stuff. Yeah. Well, he ended up like giving his channel away, essentially.
Why did he do that? Yeah.
I just realized Matthew Santoro did the same thing. He used to be like the top 10 guy, did facts and stuff. I actually won a camera from him, and that helped my YouTube channel. My vlogging was from Matthew Santoro, but he gave his channel essentially away. Like he isn't the guy that does the top 10s anymore. It's a tweet that I seen. I haven't seen any videos since then, but that's a tweet I had seen. I was like, dang, I can't imagine building up a channel just to give it away to somebody.
Yeah, he gets like no
wild.
views now. That's crazy, dude.
Who equals 3?
Yeah, dude. Like he gets like 40,000, but he's got like almost 10 million subscribers, bro.
Yeah.
That's sad,
dude. And
what happens when you kind of fall off a little bit?
I mean,
Yeah.
I look at YouTube channels completely different now, because for me, and I'm sure Kyle's been paying attention to this, it's come in waves. Like I'll literally have like a huge explosion and then it'll go down, and like the past couple videos I posted are struggling to get to 1,000 views, and all of a sudden, like, you know, a specific video pops off and all the other ones do, and it just comes in waves. But I've never seen it so aggressive the way mine is. Like the waves, like they're very like they shoot up really fast, and every time it's gotten like more views every time it shoots up, and then it goes down and it just like it hits rock bottom hard. So I'm trying to decide what to do right now, because I feel like my YouTube channel has really kind of, for the last couple of months, I've been pushing content, but it's definitely been, I would say, quantity over quality. But now that you're editing for me, I feel like the quality is going up. It's just like now I got to start filming different stuff. Like I definitely want to talk about more real life stuff, you know, like the acting, or I've had a thing written down for like 2 months now that I just never filmed, and it was just 5 things I wish I knew before I started streaming, you know, like something like that. I definitely don't want to turn into like a tips channel, because like you go look you look at Harris Heller, and when he streams, it's literally like it's like a Q&A. Like it's just he sits there and answers questions, and when he plays games, that's when people kind of leave, and it's like, you know, I definitely want streaming to be like that's when I get to play games and hang out. I don't want it to turn into like a just chatting Q&A. So, but
Yeah, I mean, because I definitely feel that, because I know when I first started out, like people kept asking me, they're like, "How's Danny? How's Little Man?" And also I'm like, dude, I don't freaking know, bro. Like I'm not living with them, but like
I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah, like people, they definitely latch on to like the first thing they know about you, and if you do a lot of like tips or whatever, they will. That's like the only thing they'll talk to you about. It's all they care about. So
especially if that's how they find you.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So when it's more about like people like, you know, your personality and stuff like that, it's a lot easier to like keep people around, because they're there for you, not for like, you know, tips or whatever.
But it makes
that's why I think. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's why I think I need to shift towards more personal content, like the G Fuel reviews. That's kind of personal because I like G Fuel, and like that was one of my big first like goals, was getting, you know, like partnered with them. So I'll keep doing those, you know. But I definitely want to start doing, like this Saturday, I plan on filming like a day in the life, so I can show like, you know, I go to acting class, I do this, and I'll be like, so this is a Saturday. Like most people take Saturday to like sit on their ass, but you know, like I'm working, you know, kind of show that like this is not a weekday. Yeah. Weekdays are even more busy. But yeah, so I'll probably do that, and then I plan on filming when I go to LA to film a genie.
Yes, sir.
Wait, when is that again?
Mid-August. Next month.
Mid-August.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like 3 weeks from now. 2.5. It's coming quick.
Yeah, after I seen
quick, Genie.
After I seen the vlogs take off, I was like, man, you gotta start doing a little bit more of like showing your life, because at this point now, I think just between all your platforms combined, everybody's kind of intrigued about you and your life, and you know, Little Man, your wife, like the family. Almost like people would like to see like a Roman Atwood aspect of your videos, because the vlogs did really well. I think the ones at or over 50K, I mean, that's pretty dang impressive.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean,
you know,
the highest viewed video on my channel is me proposing to my wife. So, I mean, it just goes to show that it's the personal stuff, you know?
Yeah.
People love the personal stuff. They like being invested into other people's lives. They really do. You know?
How many views does that one have? The proposal?
120K or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
Check. I'll look for
Video's still making a couple. It's still making like $20 a month or something.
I think I saw there's actually an article about it. Like somebody wrote about it.
Somebody wrote an article about it, yeah. So I was like, damn, I need to reach out to this person and have him write 3 more so that I can get verified on TikTok, because you literally have to like, bro, I swear, you either got to go suck somebody off, or you got to like, I don't know, somebody's got to write stuff about you, or you just got to be famous.
Somebody asked me why
verified.
Yeah, like TikTok just doesn't verify people anymore unless you're already famous. It's bullshit.
You should,
if I had tried to get verified like a month before that, I think I would have gotten it. Because like people have told me, hey, I know this guy will do it, this guy will do it. And then they get back to me like, oh, they told them they can't do it anymore. And I'm like, okay, so they cracked down on it recently.
They crack down on the wrong stuff every single time, bro.
I feel like once you hit 1 million, you should get verified. It should just be automatic.
Yeah.
I think TikTok is like a couple of steps away from becoming a dumpster fire. I'm not gonna lie, and it scares me because it's my biggest platform. But they just keep making the wrong moves, and then like they're not transparent at all about anything. Like when they told me that they wouldn't verify me, they said that the reason was confidential, but that it has nothing to do with my content. That just keep posting, keep growing, keep up what I'm doing, and I'm like.
That's so ridiculous.
Like, then what is it, man? Is it like the color of my skin, or something? I mean, like, what is it, bro? Like,
well, okay. So the thing is, TikTok is supposed to be going public soon, from what I heard.
Oh,
and if they do, either you're going to see like a bunch of big changes that are going to be for the better, or it's going to go way deeper into the crap hole because like you're going to have the whole like board of directors or whatever, and they're just going to like try to take it into a specific direction to make more money, and there's a good chance they might make the wrong decisions there. But once that happens,
like what YouTube did,
when
they changed up the algorithm and everything, all the YouTubers were freaking out. This is like a couple of years ago.
Well,
they're like, man, we're not making the same amount of money. People aren't seeing our videos. Like, what is the adpocalypse is what it was called.
And it's happened twice.
There's been a few of those actually. Yeah. So
there's been more since the main one happened.
One of them was because they were talking about like that whole thing with like little kids being on YouTube and stuff like that, and it was legit some random dude just started making videos, and he made like he did a couple of live streams or something like that where he was like basically just reaching out to advertisers and telling them, hey, YouTube's doing this, you should stop putting advertisements on YouTube. And so like every time a company did that, they'd get all excited about it and stuff like that. But like events like those where it's like they kind of push to get like advertisers off of YouTube, it's like weird things like that where I think it's either moves by other advertisers, or it's like someone just wanting to take down YouTube because they're like jealous or something like that. But usually it's because like companies want to move things in a certain direction, and sometimes they'll be offensive about it. They'll go to other platforms and try to ruin them. So we could see that from TikTok potentially. That'd be interesting. But could you imagine that?
They're starting to play more ads on TikTok.
Yeah, like because if TikTok starts doing like an ad war in a way where they're trying to get advertisers to move from other platforms over to TikTok, that could be big because they're probably going to try way harder to actually be attractive to advertisers. Yeah.
Well, what's huge for them is the short form content. That's so easy to push ads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of e-commerce stuff, like a lot of that fancy like galaxy light in your room. I don't know if you guys are getting that.
Oh yeah,
get a bunch of that.
Well, those are the LED lights in general.
Yeah.
I see products all the time.
I saw some video. Well, a lot of them I'm pretty sure are literally just like it's like one company makes like 20 accounts and they just post the same video. But I saw one where it was a thing that tests how much your battery is charged, like a AA battery or a 9-volt battery, right? And I'm like, are you kidding me? You're selling a whole device for that? You could buy a multimeter for $7 at Harbor Freight. And it's not hard.
Chris, I had a bone to pick with that.
Why?
Gotta understand, not everybody thinks the way you do, man. People are lazy. They just want to plug it into something. They don't want to have to go get two things and like put them to both ends and then read a number.
It's not hard. It's two little things, dude. Like
I didn't say it was hard. I said people are lazy.
Some people like the convenience. Anything to make. I mean, shit. I'm guilty of that. Anything that can make my life easier. Dude, sold.
Showing things that you don't realize you need it, or like you're like. You don't think you need until it's like, well, it would be nice to have.
Yeah, but you're gonna use that once in like every 4 months or something like that. Like you're gonna have to bust it out every once in a great while. It's gonna be stuck in your closet or whatever. If you have a multimeter, you can use it for a ton of stuff. Yeah. So like, I feel like it's a better investment. You know what I mean?
The whole reason why I decided to switch headsets was because you could change the batteries out in this, and they charge right there. You can just swap them out real quick. It's only an 8-hour battery, whereas like the HyperX headset I was using before is like a 30-hour battery or something like that. But that headset was starting to not hold a charge as long, because it's a couple years old. With this, I just buy new batteries. If the ear cups start to fall apart like the HyperX, I just buy new cups. I don't think I could do that with the HyperX one. So I spend more initially because it's like double the price. But then, I could literally use this headset for as long as like they support it, which I don't see them phasing it out for at least, 5 years or something. It's very popular.
Right.
So
I just think my biggest gripe with that whole product was that like it was literally just to test whether or not the battery is okay. It doesn't charge it. It literally just checks if it's okay.
Well, a multimeter doesn't charge it either. Mm-hmm. It's just
that's why I'm saying just get a multimeter. It's cheaper. And it's more useful.
I don't know. I look at things when I look at products right now. The way I look at it is like, will it save me time or will it save me money in the long run?
Exactly what I was just gonna say. But I was thinking about it today while I was cooking. I was thinking of like things that I could buy right now that would save me so much time in the meal that I was prepping. And I'm like thinking about it more. I was like, with products, anything that can save me time because of how busy I am, I'm buying it because I need stuff to like cut my time down in half or less.
Yeah.
So I can just get on with my day.
I hate cooking, by the way. Like I appreciate cooking.
Oh my god! Dude.
But like when I was living alone, I would literally just make a big ass pot of like rice or like spaghetti, and then like meat is super easy to cook. Yeah, and like people would make fun of me at work to be like, "Bro, you eat spaghetti like every day." I'm like, "Bro, I ain't got that's cutting into my video game time, having to sit there and make dinner every day." Like
I just get stuff that I can meal prep and put into the meal prep containers.
Yeah.
And just something I can take Sunday and just meal prep 6 different things, not 6 different things, but you know what I mean. A couple different things and then put them out in the containers and then bam, that's my stuff for the week and then eat out day or two or whatever.
Yeah. If it wasn't for my wife, I would literally be eating the same thing like every day.
I can imagine.
Dude, I people made fun of me on TikTok because I got like protein shakes and stuff to try, but I was like, this past, I would say since I started acting class and going back to jujitsu and working out again, all that stuff, like today, I've had one protein shake. Like I forget to eat, bro. So it's like
they fill you up.
Well, it's not just that, dude. Like so when I was in the military, I started doing intermittent fasting, which is where you purposely like push your feeding window so that you can eat less calories, but it feels like you're eating a lot because you eat it in a small amount of time. And I've gotten so used to that now. And like when you first start, I mean, it's when you're used to eating breakfast when you wake up, it's hard to get to like 10 o'clock without eating, But now it's to the point where it'll be 8 o'clock at night like it is now, and like I'm not hungry. But once I do start eating, and my body's like, oh, it's time to eat. Like I start eating everything. So it's like
that's how I am too.
But there'll be times where it's like midnight, and I'm like, shit, dude, I haven't eaten anything. I guess it's time to go feast. Because I got like 1,800 calories to eat because I'm trying to like cut down right now.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing. So what is a good meal to even like have ready to go for scenarios like that?
Burrito bowls. That's what I do.
Burrito bowls? Is that what you said?
Burrito bowls, yeah.
Yep. I do a healthy version of it. So it's got like green peppers, onions, brown rice, turkey instead of burger meat. You season that up. Oh yeah. Turkey's way healthier. Oh yeah. Huge.
Cheety's like
corn, black beans, and unsalted tomato, like crushed tomato. And you put that in, and you just pretty much you saute the onions and the green peppers, and then you cook the burger meat, and then you just add everything else into it. Fill it up with water and literally cover it. You bring it to a boil, cover it, and then just let it stay on the stove for like 30 minutes, and boom, it's perfect. Meal prep, scoop it out. I get like probably 4 meals out of the serving size that I prepare. I learned that off of TikTok. Sure. This guy that he's ripped up like Rambo, and he's like, hey, try this thing here. It ended up being phenomenal. I actually just made some today, and it'll last you a couple days, and it's really good for you. Good fiber and all that stuff, protein.
Have you guys tried ground bison?
I think at one point in my life.
So
probably once.
They're starting to sell it. Like I see it more and more at places. My wife gets it from Costco. To me, it tastes better than ground beef, and it's leaner. And I mean, it's basically the same price, maybe $1 more for like a 4-pack or whatever. But I mean, they're like they come in a pound pack. But that's
I only buy anything that's lean.
Yeah, we've pretty much replaced ground beef with that, and so I mean, I don't even like. now when I have ground beef, I'm like, this is kind of bland, to be honest.
It might actually be what I buy. I never really look. I just see ground beef. It looks like ground beef in the package. It's not like 90% whatever burger and then 10% whatever they say. 90% lean. I don't know. 10% fat, something like that. However they say it on the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try not to have all the fat in the burger because it's all greasy too. It's gross. So, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I thought that bison for some reason were like endangered or something. I don't know why.
Are bison and buffalo the same thing, or are they different? I think buffalo are
really good question.
I think you're thinking of buffalo.
I would say they're probably different.
I think they're very similar, but they're different.
The two are not closely related. So let me see if buffalo are.
They look similar.
They were the same.
They're both like mean-looking animals.
Yeah.
What the heck? No. Okay,
all
so then
up.
when I look up are buffalo endangered, it brings up bison.
Yeah, my thing that I said bison and buffalo. The American bison, or simply bison, also commonly known as the American buffalo, or simply buffalo, American species of bison that once roamed North America in vast herds.
You want to know what's crazy?
Interesting.
When I was down in LA, we used to fly by the Channel Islands, which is where Catalina and Santa Cruz Island and stuff like that are. They film a lot of movies over there. Like they filmed that scene for Step Brothers, like across from it. They say it's Catalina Island, but they filmed it on like one of Trump's golf courses or something. It's kind of funny. We'd always pass by it and be like, Catalina wine mixer, Pow!
Yeah.
But they're over there. I don't know if it's Catalina or one of the other islands. They filmed part of Dances with Wolves there, and they brought buffalo there for the movie and left them there. So there's just this random ass island next to California that has buffalo running around it. It's crazy.
Wild how they can just leave them there.
Yeah,
it's like
one
day,
day,
live here, right?
One day I saw a herd of them. And I was like, "What the?" I was like, "There's buffalo on that island." And then somebody told the story, like one of the pilots, and I was like, "Dude, that's crazy, man! I didn't know they filmed Dances with Wolves, or at least part of it there." I guess they filmed part of the mountain scenes and stuff there. Like the hill mount, like, cause there's hills and stuff there, and then, but it's like a 25 minute boat ride right off of or ferry ride off of like Long Beach. So like right there.
So, okay. So it says buffalo, bison, and oxen or ox are not endangered. What am I thinking of then, dude?
I don't know. I think that everybody looks at them all as the same thing. And since you don't see them everywhere, you're like, oh, they must be endangered,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that there's a lower population than there was like, 200 or 300 years ago, right?
I mean, dude, everything is slower population, to be honest, except sharks, because now sharks we protect, and so sharks are just apparently sharks. It's getting to the point where they might in the near future be like, all right, it's a free for all. You can kill sharks again, because the thing is like the only thing that really kills sharks is killer whales, and I mean,
do they kill each other? Like, do they eat each other?
Probably.
I think some species eat their babies.
Yeah. But
anyways.
Not me.
But people were. It was shark fin soup was really popular, right? For a while, it was like a really big delicacy over there in like Asia, and so they would literally just cut the fin off and then throw the shark back, and they would die because they can't swim without their dorsal fin, and so they're like, hey, you can't do this anymore. And so now the shark population has exploded, and there's been a huge increase in shark attacks over the last decade, all kinds of stuff. That's why when I tell people, like, I hate the ocean, because, like, I know that there's more, like, I've flown past LA and seen all the surfers right there, and, like, a couple dozen sharks just, like, chilling, like, 20 feet from them. And I'm bro, all it takes is one drop of blood, and it's a goddamn frenzy. I'm like, screw that, man.
Wow.
They're not going to be living down here in Florida too much more. The way that I don't know if you guys know about this, but I live here, so I've been seeing a lot of stuff. We've had red tide like crazy for weeks and weeks. We always have it.
Wow.
But we found out there is a company that has been dumping toxic waste into the Tampa Bay area, and it's killing all the wildlife. If they don't stop, more than likely within the next few years, Florida will be uninhabitable. And there's millions, like just my county alone has probably 1.5 million people. And it's so bad. You can't even go. I mean, if you go to the beach and stuff, you can't really swim in the ocean anymore. there have been aerial pictures I just seen last week posted, and it's like really bad. You get sick, you feel horrible, and it's just, you know, all the dead fish. People are taking pictures. There's a big YouTube channel down here called Jug Squad, and he's actually, if you guys know Tifu, it's Tifu's older brother. They've been a channel I've followed down here forever. They film in like my area, Clearwater, and Indian Rocks Beach and St. Pete Beach. So all up and down this area, and they've lived here their whole lives. So they're huge advocates for anything that's like this. And they just had a huge rally. So every Sunday from now until somebody does something, they're rallying out at the Tampa Bay City Hall and just protesting this. And they want to get this company out of Florida because most Floridians don't even know we've lost. According to the banner I seen, I don't know all the facts. I just am going off of the stuff that Jack posts because normally he is right because he does all the research and stuff. But they were saying that there's over 1 million acres of Florida that is like destroyed because of this. And most of us Floridians, even most of the people in the US don't even know about it.
Yeah, how's nobody
this company
talking
has
about this?
been this because that's crazy. It's like that's the thing. That's kind of the talking point is like this company's been getting away with it under everybody's radar. It's like Mosaic or something like that.
Mosaic?
Fuck Mosaic.
I think that's what.
What is it, like an oil company or like what's the?
They mine for phosphate.
Mining. Yeah. Oh, it's potash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's phosphate, toxic waste, all that stuff that they are just dumping in. I mean, our whole, I guess you'd call it kind of like the Everglades or something like that, where it's like the strip in between, essentially like Orlando and like Miami. It's all, I mean, it's all swamp and greenlands and all that stuff.
Is it used for?
It's affecting all of that.
Is it for fertilizer? What is it?
You know, I really don't know that part of it. I don't know. All I know is that's what they're mining for, and that's what's creating the waste, and that's what they're dumping in.
How long has this been?
Millions and millions of gallons. I mean, we had red tide all the time, and like this has been. I moved down here originally in 2014. I moved back to Michigan in 2017, but when I lived down here, during that time, it was an issue. So it's been an issue for a long time, but it's just gotten really worse within like the past probably 2 years.
That's crazy, man.
To the point where like the red tide's like almost like not going away.
Yeah, and I found the video. It came out a week
tourism.
ago. It says, "I'm mad and disgusted. Florida is in trouble." Yeah, you got that right.
Was it Jack Juke Squad?
Yeah.
He
came out on the 16th.
He'll post all kinds. Anything that ever happens in Florida, he'll post about it. He used to be like not that he still isn't, but like they were a huge prank channel and they've been on YouTube for over a decade.
There's a petition.
He does a bunch of stuff in Florida.
I'll go ahead and link it if you want to put that in the description of the video.
I think it would be huge. I mean, you guys have a little bit of a platform. I think this would be huge to get people to understand, like how really bad this is. Like, everybody talks crap about Florida man and all this stuff. Florida's a crazy state, but like it's a beautiful state and I love living here.
Yeah.
And I'd like to continue living here, and the fact that we have this company, like the fact that the president and the current administration isn't talking about this, that's like mind blowing to me.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I mean, you would think
people are getting away with it.
All the environmental policies that are being put in place right now, you would think that would be a big concern, right?
Especially with Democrats in office. Isn't that their whole thing? Is like
the
environment? That's why their first move when they got in was the pipelines, right? They shut down the pipeline.
Okay, but we know why they were mad about the pipelines, but
well, I'm saying like they're pushing for like a greener environment, which I'm all for. Electric cars, all that. Hey, all for it. But you would think, with that being said, that they would be focused on this and they would put a kibosh on the whole thing. I mean, the fact that Florida could be uninhabitable after a few years, that's wild. You know how many people think about that? Think about if that actually happened. Millions of people would have to relocate.
When you say Florida would be uninhabitable, would it be just the coast, or is it like all of Florida?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I would say most of Florida. Most of anything that's on the coast and stuff, like, because pretty much the whole middle of Florida, other than, I mean, Orlando's kind of more middle and south, but like anything that's in the middle, like nobody lives there. It's all swamplands. Most people that live in Florida live on like the coastlines on both sides. So like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Sarasota, Jacksonville. Jacksonville's up top, Panama City. All that, everything in the middle is mostly swamplands and,
Well, because does that mean bye Disney World or what?
I mean, nobody would want to come down here. I don't think. I don't know exactly how much of Florida would be uninhabitable, but definitely like the coastline, nobody's going to be able to live around by the water because it's going to be toxic.
Because I just
you're breathing that all in, and no way.
That would eventually get like further than Florida though, because it would end up reaching Alabama, Mississippi, probably Georgia and South Carolina because it's in that area.
Would think.
So, holy crap, dude.
Yeah, it's a huge talking point. Like, I can't believe that there's people out there like this company's actually just like, yeah, this is fine.
I never understood that though, because you would think like, like
it's mind blowing.
It's one thing to like put the wrong thing in the garbage can, right? But to just be like, oh, we're gonna dump it in the ocean. It's like
toxic waste.
Yeah, everybody like goes to the ocean every once in a while, like whether it be the beach or like going out like
especially Florida
fishing and stuff. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, bro, of all the places, you guys are like, really, bro?
Yeah, our fishing industry is massive. Most of the restaurants that are on the coast and that's all caught fresh. That's like, that's their huge source of income, obviously, because that's what feeds their people.
And
the beach life and tourism in general. You can't go to the beach because you can't breathe and you can't swim in that stuff. It's going to make you... there's one guy that went out there as a surfer. I think he just went out to the Gulf. He was covered in this crazy rash afterwards. Itched forever. I mean, it was really, really bad.
All
my mom was
just
telling me about that the other day.
Oh, God.
It was all because of the waste, yeah.
Yeah.
And the red tide, because it's think like it's killing all this wildlife. So then all those carcasses are coming up onto the beach. The smell's terrible.
Yeah.
And those are giving off their own fumes too because they're infected with the toxic waste. So I mean, it's a whole issue.
Yeah. So I looked up phosphate poisoning. It says acute phosphate toxicity can provoke hypocalcemia and associated symptoms including tetany, hypotension, and tachycardia, which I don't even know what that is, but
I don't either.
I think that sounds like something heart related.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen? Have you guys ever seen a whale that has like died and it fills up with gas and explodes?
Yeah. No. Have you seen the video of the guy dancing on a whale?
No, but I've seen one where they're like trying to move this whale because they're like it's gonna explode, and there's like a bunch of people around, and it just they start moving it, and all of a sudden, boom, just blows up, and
dude,
it's like
bro,
all this bile and stuff.
They're trying to move a whale back into the ocean by putting explosives under it, and it just blew up the whale.
I saw that.
Bro.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that too. I think that was in Florida. People in Florida would do some stupid shit like that.
Dude, there's shit. No, hey, I'm from Michigan.
Yeah.
I just let her know.
I don't claim any of this negative energy.
I have a buddy
These people are nuts down here.
I got a buddy who just got out of the Coast Guard and he was in Miami, so I'm gonna ask him if the Coast Guard's talking about that because they deal with
I'd imagine they have to be
stuff.
They definitely have to be. Yeah. Yeah, actually, if going off of the Florida stuff, I actually had something crazy happen to my cousin. Actually, this happened towards the end of June, but I just found out about it. They were out house hunting and looking for, ones that had like rent signs out in front. And they pulled up to this house and they were pulling up and getting the number so they could call to see if they could check out the house. These three guys run out with guns. And mind you, it's my cousin's daughter. So that, I guess she'd be like my second cousin, I think is what that technically is. But it's her and her boyfriend. And they came out, they put the gun right in my cousin's face and broke her phone, took all of her money out, and then took her boyfriend's name's Devin. They took Devin into the house. Two guys and one held my cousin Kenzie at gunpoint. Took him into the house, got his money. I don't know why they took him in the house. That was kind of weird. Smashed his phone as well, and they put the gun in his mouth.
Oh.
They almost both died. And then for whatever reason, they ran off. They were able to get the police. Police didn't show up for 45 minutes. And obviously they're all shooken up, terrified. They don't have a gun on them, And they're just out house hunting. And then come to find out it's in my city. In Largo, Florida.
Sounds like tweakers or something, man.
Did they
broad daylight. It was broad daylight too. That's another thing I forgot to say. Yeah, broad daylight.
Did they ever figure out like what was going on, or is it just?
Well, they caught the one guy, the guy that ran and didn't go in the same vehicle as the other two, got caught. And his court date was actually like 2 days ago. And I haven't heard anything from my cousin yet, but they were hoping that because he's literally going to serve his whole life in prison.
Right.
He's that's like 5 charges or more that they did. So they're hoping that at the court date, which like I said, I haven't found out yet, but they're hoping that he would snitch on the other two to drop his sentence, like 6ix9ine did.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, I haven't heard anything else after that. But broad daylight, they did that. And it's just super random. They pulled up, they're trying to look for houses to rent. Like, how innocent is that, you know? Like, not doing anything. And Largo isn't the hood. Like, where I'm at, it's right next to Clearwater, huge tourism place. It's gotten a little... When I talk about hood down in Florida compared to what I know in Detroit, these guys wouldn't know hood at all, you know? So, like, down here, it's crazy to see that kind of stuff happens, because that's stuff that does happen in the hood. So,
I heard the heck, bro? That's insane.
Yeah, I heard Detroit.
Absolutely wild.
I heard Detroit is kind of in a weird, like, things are just weird in Detroit right now. Because, like, some of the, like, car manufacturing factories left there, and it's you know, super poor. A lot of the houses are run down. Like, it's super cheap to get a house there, right? Super cheap. What? It's like super cheap to buy a house there because no, I heard the opposite.
Maybe Detroit City.
I heard
like actual Detroit.
I think I'm talking about like Detroit City. Because I know a lot of people say possible. Like, oh yeah, I live in Detroit, and they're like not actually near like downtown Detroit or anything.
How I explain it to people is there's Detroit City, like the actual city of Detroit.
Yeah.
And you know, east side, west side, and then there's the Detroit Metro, which brings up like that's like 50 cities. Okay. And I consider the top of the Detroit Metro, where I used to live, as Utica and Sterling Heights area, which is more of the wealthier area. And then the further you go down to the Detroit, the more hood it gets and the less, you know, wealthy it gets.
Yeah, because there's an air station there, a Coast Guard air station. And so some of the people told me, like, yeah, like, you can buy it. Like, it's really cheap to find a house there. It's just not where you want to live, you know?
Right. Oh, in Detroit itself, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I was talking to a guy I used to. So before I really like got into all this stuff and the stuff I do now, I installed home security systems for Vivint Smart Home, and I installed for a company called Ackerman. And when I worked for Vivint, I worked directly in Detroit, so I was in the hood. And one of the guys that I installed for bought the house off of foreclosure, I believe, for $5,000. I actually heard this from 2 different people.
Yeah.
The one guys were just flipping the whole house just to sell, I think, and the other guy was living there. But the problem is, when he moved in, there was nothing in the house. The whole house was stripped because people will steal like the water heaters and the AC units and all this stuff. So he had like a bone house, you know, like a skeleton house, whatever you want to call it. And but he got that for $5,000 foreclosed. $5,000 for a house. I mean, it's a 2-story house, probably like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, basement. Almost every house in Michigan has a basement.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, lot of space. $5,000.
Why is that such a big problem there, though? I don't understand. Like, what causes like
the hood, man? It's kind of hard to get into that topic because immediately in our society, it's like you say anything, it's like, oh, you're racist. Like, that's not the case.
I mean is like, what's the history there? So like, was there like a big industry there before, and then it just like left, or what?
Well, it's always been a huge auto, manufacturing area. A lot of warehouses, a lot of factories. You know, that's what Detroit was known for. I mean, the GM building is huge there. All Ford, everything's there, you know.
That's where they build.
That's kind of what Michigan. Yeah, it's like what Michigan is like known for. Is like the auto industry. And then I think we ended up sending some things like overseas and stuff. I don't really know exactly why we started doing all that stuff.
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but then you know, it's those type of jobs and stuff. I mean, they don't pay like super well. I mean, if you've been with them and you've like pledged like 25 years of your life there and you get your pension and everything, yeah, sure. Maybe it's okay, but I don't know. And gangs have always been a thing there. I don't really know what starts that. but it's definitely caused Detroit to go through hell and back. That's for sure. Downtown now, I think is nice. I mean, I used to go down there all the time for concerts and baseball games and all that stuff, and it's pretty decent. I mean, we got a Gucci store for crying out loud. So I mean, we gotta be doing something a little right. But yeah, I mean, the surrounding areas, there's some rough areas that I've been in personally, like when I was installing, and it's like, man. Yeah. And if you're a white kid down there, you know, when I was installing, I was in mostly black neighborhoods. It gets a little scary because you're just like, man, like, unfortunately, they do just look at you like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Because you are out of place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had left a job one day and there was this Charger flying down the road, mind you, in a like 35 zone, 30 zone. And the way that I was leaving the neighborhood is that I had to really make a right turn and pull left quick to make a left turn to go to my next job. So it was like one of those, like the light was like right there, but I needed to turn right. Does that make sense to get in the left lane? It's like right there, you know? And I see this Charger coming up, but I was like, you know what? Like I got to make this move because I got to get going. Like I'm working and our jobs are, you know, you got to get right to them and all that stuff. You're booked the whole day. And the Charger had to pull into the left lane really fast, slam on its brakes, and is in the turn lane. And I'm in the lane like right to the right of that. He almost ran into me, and they all rolled their windows down, these 4 black guys, and they're like, what are you doing, white boy? And I was like, hey, man, I'm out here working. I was like, you guys are going like 60-something and like a 30, 35? Like, what are you doing? I'm in a Vivint work truck, mind you. All white truck with orange lettering. You can't miss me. I'm like, why are you flying down the road? Like, I know you're in a Charger, all that, showing off for your boys, whatever. But they're like, man, you're lucky we don't get out the car and beat your ass, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there like, what am I going to do? I don't have a gun on me. I'm in a company vehicle, you know? So that was the only real interaction that I had personally when I was like living down there and working down there, but it's not a safe area. It's not safe.
Yeah, no,
it gets pretty crazy.
I know a lot of the car manufacturing moved to Mexico because the labor laws allow them to not pay as much, you know?
Which is just so crazy. Isn't that wild?
People forget Mexico is a third world country. It is. Yeah. I mean, if you want to be polite, a developing country, you know. But it's. Right. I mean, when I did patrols down there and we would stop there, it was like you forget that they don't have like clean water there. Like you can't drink the water; you'll get sick.
What was that one thing you said where it was like the water was so bad that you would get like?
They call it Montezuma's revenge.
Yeah.
So like, if you're not used to the bacteria that's in the water there, you get the shits and you like puke and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had went to Europe when I was in 6th grade, so that was a long time ago, over 10 years ago. And we couldn't drink in certain areas at the time because they were literally like, because I was with a whole group of people. Yeah, it was certain area. Like we were in certain areas of France and certain areas, I believe, in Italy. We couldn't drink the water.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know
weird. Europe, so
my only like
it's awesome
understanding of like what it's like in parts of Europe. It was I think it's the second Spider-Man movie where they're in Europe for like some like field trip
Tom Holland
like that.
Yeah.
And
Tom Holland one. Yeah, Homecoming, I believe.
Yeah, and I think
Far From Home.
Yes. And a bunch of the buildings are like falling apart. Stuff like that, and like part of me was like, oh well, it's because, you know, like there was a snap or whatever, but it's like literally there's like a bunch of buildings that are just like in disrepair.
Yeah
So it's like I guess it never really crosses most people's minds. Like I think of Europe as just like they're not necessarily like on par with some of the things that we have in the United States and stuff like that, but they're not like, it's not like they're just falling apart constantly, you know, like they still have stuff, but like I don't know, I guess it just had never.
Depends on what part of Europe you're in, you know.
That's fair. Yeah. Well, so what's considered like a close to first world, if not like first world part of Europe?
That's a good question.
Like Luxembourg, I think, or something like that. You know, UK. Like,
well, the UK is not part of Europe anymore, right?
It's
the EU. The EU. They're not part of the EU, but they are part of Europe.
This is pretty first world, I'd say.
People forget that there's a lot of little tiny countries that like nobody talk about in Europe. You know.
Oh yeah.
Vatican City.
Yeah, Vatican.
Is the Vatican City the one?
That was one of the areas
everywhere?
we could.
That's Venice.
Venice.
Yeah.
Vatican City is just the Vatican.
It's just,
and it's like
a bunch of old stuff, right? And then
the Vatican was one of the areas at the time we couldn't drink the water.
Really?
Whoa. Wait,
Wow.
what the heck, bro?
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
And people were bathing in it because it's holy water. That's so interesting.
Yep. Yeah, I actually when we went to the Vatican City, it was like one of the tourist stops that we got to do, and we got little vials of or vials, whatever, of holy water.
Yeah.
From the Vatican City. It was pretty cool.
They take that pretty seriously out there.
Yeah, they do. Big time. And it's really cool to see, though. If you guys ever get the chance to go out there, I would love to go out there now that I'm older and wiser.
Right.
Yeah. But it's great. I still remember it, and it was really cool.
I really want to visit Germany.
Germany's great too.
Yeah. Dude, so there's that one channel that I watch where it's this guy who's like building like an Iron Man suit, and he's from Russia. And dude, it's weird because like there's a bunch of stuff that's like from the Cold War that's just like scrap, and you can go and pick it up like just for free.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Like there's so much stuff that's like super old that they just kind of like let sit around because no one's really doing anything with it. Like I feel like in some places they would find a use for it immediately, but like I guess in Russia they have other priorities right now.
I've seen videos of all over that area, like Russia, Germany, and stuff like that, where there's still like old tanks and stuff like that are just like blown up that are just sitting there, like they're still stuck in time. Parts over there where there was like big battles and stuff. Like walking the beaches of Normandy would be crazy.
If you want to talk stuck in time, dude, North Korea, bro, don't they still have like a Cold War era like everything? Like
I mean, Cuba is the same way.
Yeah, but Cuba is like they're trying to like, is there some like revolution or something like that's going on over there or something like that?
The people killed their president.
Yeah.
I thought that was Haiti.
Yeah, I thought that was Haiti.
I think there's multiple countries that's happened.
Pretty sure I just heard something about Cuba. That was the whole reason why, like, because there was a bunch of Floridians like going to help Cuba. They were literally like driving their boats.
Yeah.
Well, because it says no. Okay, so Fidel Castro died like 4.5 years ago, and I think that's like the last thing that's happened with that.
Well, I mean,
I could be completely off.
Because wasn't it during Obama's office? Like towards the end of his office, where they were like, "Hey, it's okay to go to Cuba again," right?
I don't know. Well, I don't know that. See, also gotta remember, I was super young during that, so.
Yeah,
bro.
I'm not
Cuban cigars. It's no joke.
Well, what exactly is the difference between like
it's the soil,
smoking
man?
A cigarette?
Oh, smoking a cigarette and a cigar. A cigar you don't actually inhale into your lungs. Cigar just goes into your mouth. Like, cause cause when I started smoking cigars in the military, because they would do it for like any celebratory thing, they'd break out cigars, like on patrols and stuff when we were on the boat. On the boat, it was very common. I looked it up and I was like, dude, like, I should probably like look into this because I know cigarettes are bad, but I mean, there's people online who talk about how like it's really hard to find cases where people can link like cigar smoking to like lung cancer or anything like that. Because it's not the same. Like you're not inhaling it into your lungs.
Stuff, right?
A lot of people say that like it's pretty safe compared to cigarettes and stuff like that.
Because I would assume they don't put like filler in cigars like they do with cigarettes, right?
I can't even remember the last time I smoked a cigar. So like I don't. It's been a while, but like I know the first time that I smoked a cigar, I accidentally inhaled it in my lungs, and my lungs burned. Oof. Like you definitely don't want to.
Like hell.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
How do you not inhale it into your lungs? Then that's weird. I've never had
you puff. Yeah, you just
puff on it.
Like it's not like a drag like when you smoke a cigarette. Like you're not taking a long drag. It's just like a little puff.
Basically, filling up your mouth with smoke and then back.
And the tobacco. It's like the taste of the tobacco is what you're after. It's not like cigarettes where like you're just after the nicotine high. But there is nicotine, and you do get a nicotine high off of cigars. But
so it's like adult,
but
like it's the adult version of gum, basically, right? That's what it sounds like.
If like you get like a high off gum, I guess. But
yeah.
No, I mean like it's something. It's like because like people just chew gum like recreationally,
like
like
for like the taste. Oh, I see. What you mean. Yeah. I guess it is.
Kinda.
I mean, like decent cigars are way like it's expensive. Like you to get like like a Monte Cab,
legit Cuban cigars and all that.
Well, not only just that, just like cigars from anywhere, Mexico, Italy, stuff like that. Like they're expensive. Like one cigar can cost like $20, and that's considered like a pretty decent cigar. But I mean, like, yeah, the Cuban cigars, I mean, they get pricey. Like I smoked a cigar that was like $80 one time that somebody, like the captain, bought it for the crew or something like that. I was like, dude, I can't believe he's giving out these cigars. They're expensive as hell. Like he spent like a couple grand on these cigars. But Cuban cigars, it just tastes so different, man, and it's good. It's a good taste. And I was dating this chick when I was in Washington State, and like I would smoke cigars with my buddies, and she liked the smell of the Cuban cigars. Like she could tell when it was like a good cigar. So like it's weird because it stays on your clothes until you like take them off and shower. Obviously, you know, it's like people who smoke cigarettes, they smell like it. You know. Yeah. Real quick, I just wanted to say, like, because we were just talking about Cuba, so we don't like mislead people. So Cuba, I guess, has been dealing with a dictatorship, and so they're protesting. They took to the streets, I guess their people have, protesting against deteriorating living conditions and the lack of basic goods and services, including medical attention, amid increasing numbers of coronavirus infections. So they didn't kill their president then, is what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was Haiti. Yeah.
So I guess maybe the story. Maybe whoever told me got conflicting stories. I
think there might have been an attempt.
My thought.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I think there was an attempt.
Well, they're trying to end. It's a 62-year-old communist regime, so they've been trying to end it. It started on July 11th. They're spreading more than 40 cities and towns, including the capital, Havana.
Damn, that sucks. That's my birthday.
The president deployed security forces. Let's see.
What a terrible thing.
Thanks for clearing that
up.
So
I guess there's. Yeah, I just figure we should like not mislead
fact
people.
Check it,
let people. Yeah.
Well, so the thing is that with Haiti, I feel like no one's talking about that because I feel like that's a pretty big deal,
bro.
Yeah.
Like Haiti, wasn't Haiti talked about like a couple years ago? There's something big happened in Haiti. There's like there was an earthquake or bombings or there's something.
So we went over there to help. And hurricanes multiple times, so they get bombarded with.
That's what it was. We went over there to help. That's what it was. I remember seeing it in the news and stuff, all that.
Yeah, they're a country that's just it's like their geographical location's just shit, dude. Like they just everything that can happen there happens. Earthquakes, tsunamis.
It's like a huge hotspot for like mission work and stuff. It's like a lot of like.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Surprised people would even want to live there. You'd think they're just like, I mean, we'll find somewhere else.
That's probably why the president got assassinated because they're trying to make the place better or something, and the president's not helping with that.
I'm sure you've heard the Coast Guard literally like there's boats that literally just turn to tell them go back because they'll just be like a boat that's meant for like 10 people with like 40 people on it, barely floating, trying to get across to Florida, and they have to turn them around. It's illegal immigration. They're not doing it the right way. There's boats that will take you.
Can you imagine
to the
being that
center,
desperate though?
But it costs money. Yeah, I mean,
but they're desperate.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like war.
Can you imagine not being able to live? Like they're gonna like live properly. Like we take everything like for granted over here, and these people are like that article just said they're fighting to have like normal living conditions, and they're all like having huge issues with COVID. Can't get help. I mean, if we were all in the same boat, we'd be saying screw it. Let's all pack on this boat and go. Let's try. Let's try. I'd rather die than deal with this any longer.
That's one of those things that I think a lot of people just, in the U.S. in general take for granted is the fact that, like, I mean, when you think about it, you're lucky to be born in the U.S. There's definitely places that you could have been born where it's like you're just struggling to survive. Nobody gets paid enough to buy food. Like you literally have to like. There's people who steal because that's the only way they can survive. That's why crime's so bad in those countries.
Where's Canada at on the scale? Are they considered first world?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But the population of Canada is tiny compared to us. Like I was talking to Jordy, it's like a 10th of the population of the US.
Most of the land there is yeah.
So cold.
And are they still considered like not like a part of the UK, but like is it what would you even call that? But like
they're independent.
I mean, they just had their like independent, like I can't remember when it was. It's not that long ago that they like declared their independence from like Europe, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Because their money still has the Queen on it, right?
I think I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that
monopoly
like
money.
Yeah.
They have monopoly money. I heard it smells like maple syrup.
But they have like a prime minister, right?
Really?
Yeah, it's like a little part of it or whatever.
It's like a scratch.
Is it supposed to smell like maple?
I
That's
swear that the
weird.
one that I had, I don't know if somebody was pulling my chain or whatever, but like, I swear, I tried it and I was like,
oh my god! Imagine that's like an authenticity
And
thing where it's like,
right?
It doesn't.
That's a great way to do it,
It's
though.
literally plastic.
It doesn't
It's
smell
plastic
like
feeling.
maple
Well,
syrup.
exactly. But if it,
Canadian money is
This is
wild.
bullshit money, bro.
if it's plastic though, it's gonna last longer. That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Trying to pull the wool over my eyes.
Have you guys ever like held Canadian money?
No, I have.
I have.
Dude, it's so cool. It's
Dude,
so
maybe
cool.
I have, but it wasn't that special.
If you look
It's
at
all
our
colorful
yeah,
and shit.
a lot
So
of
cool.
other countries put
Wasn't
way
that
more
proud?
pride into how their money looks. You know, like our money.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy to me that like other countries make their money to last, and ours is literally like you can hand somebody $1, but it looks like they wipe their ass with it. Like it's just all crumbly
Oh,
and
yeah.
gross looking.
So
And it's
true.
like, here you go.
Yeah.
Like other countries, they would cycle that money out. Like they don't want their money to look like that.
Yeah.
Our money looks disgusting.
Dude,
And we just keep printing it, baby. We
I
just
heard
keep
that
printing it.
every like dollar bill has like traces of cocaine in it, dude.
I don't know if that's true, but
No, I'm pretty sure
yeah.
it is. Like it's like trace amount. It's like it's trapped in the fibers, so you can't get it out. And so
You
literally,
gotta
it's just
think about
stuck
it
in
though
there,
too.
bro.
Like how many
Virginia,
things
what are
are
you doing?
money? It's like circulatable. Like people use it for coke. People put it in strippers' ass cracks.
that's what I was gonna
But
say.
you know what I mean? Like,
There's
bro,
been
maybe like
times,
100,
yeah.
though.
There's been times where I've had like dirty looking cash. And I'm like, damn, dude, this totally looks like it came out of a strip club. Like I don't know about this couple of dollars here. You know, like I might get
what's
sick.
crazy is some of them could be like you don't even know. Like half of that stuff could have just been
I've never
anywhere.
thought of
They
that.
said that's how like the flu gets transmitted sometimes.
Dude.
It actually lasts long enough.
dude. Money's disgusting.
Yeah, dude.
Think about how much bacteria could live on money.
I don't know if it was the casino
Like,
I
honestly.
went to, but there's like a local casino in the San Francisco area, not downtown San Francisco, because I don't think it's allowed there, but like in the little cities around there, like San Bruno and stuff. I went to a casino with my buddies, and like I was like, dude, like it felt like a dirty place, like kind of like because like I've been to a strip club, you know, because like when I was in the military, like that's where everybody wanted to go. And you have to stick together, so it's like I can't go off by myself, so I'm kind of forced to be there, or I had to pick people up from there, you know, as like a duty driver, and like just like I don't know, maybe it's just the way I was raised, but like I go in there and I'm just like, bro, it's like I don't want to be here. This feels like a filthy, like a dirty place. Like I just, you know,
Yeah.
I know how that feels.
yeah.
I'm not a big casino or strip
Yeah.
club guy.
Felt the same way
sure.
about the casino though. Like everybody there was
Yeah.
like, because a lot of casinos they have like smoking areas, you know, still, so it's like
yeah.
Oh yeah.
there's people
Yeah, it's
smoking in
heavily
there, and
allowed.
The scent of
Yeah.
like this that smell in a casino is like associated with anxiety for me because it's like
Yeah.
that feeling of anxiety when you're watching
Dude,
like a roulette thing. Or
Have
something
you
like
ever gotten that vibe from someone's house?
oh yeah.
Dude,
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
weird feeling, dude.
Bro, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
true, but they say that like I don't know. That's conspiracy talk, but you know how they say that like if somebody dies somewhere, it's almost like the negative energy is still there. You know, like you could go into a place and it's like you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, like it feels like something bad happened here. You know, like I've had that feeling at
Yep.
friends' houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
know?
I grew up in a house like through high school that a suicide happened in.
Did you ever
Yeah.
hear anything?
My sister claimed to have seen a ghost in the hallway, but it was just nighttime and she was scared. I never like once had an issue with it
Right.
until like it was one of those things where it's like we're buying the house. It was a foreclosure, I think, for
Okay.
that reason. And
More than
it
likely.
was, yeah, it was one of those things where it's like the realtor has to like tell you if there was like a death on the thing or like a suicide.
Yep.
Or,
Yeah, they
you're
have
supposed
to
say if there was
disclose that.
something like that. So like my
Yep.
parents like sat me and my sister down like after they had bought the house, so there was like no choice.
Oh,
It's like,
that's
you know,
yeah. No,
you're like,
I've had friends who were looking for houses, and they're like, "Yeah, we found this one. It was great, looked great." Like, and then they're like, "All right, cool. You know, like we want the house." And like, "All right, cool. But there's one thing I gotta tell you. It's like
6 people were murdered. In this
somebody
house.
killed their family here." And it's like, what the like, or like somebody somebody put their their freaking tailpipe exhaust into their car in the garage, and it's like, oh come on, man.
That's the thing.
Like it just ruins the vibe. It's like, do you really like? I wouldn't want to live in a house where I know like a bunch of people died. You know?
So that house would be okay, and if someone had died there and no one told you, you'd be okay with it. But it's the fact that they tell you about it that makes
they have
like,
to.
Yeah. But the thing is, why is that like ingrained in our like culture where like they have to tell you that because like there's no scientific proof that ghosts are real, but like
it's just I feel like it's like the
right?
human decency to like let you know, like, hey, by the way, just so you know, because like I mean, you could not say, but it's just like I feel like it's something you should just.
Theoretically, eventually there will be a point where every single house that's in existence, someone will have died in.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Dying's different than being murdered, though. Like, do you guys know the Chris Watts case? They did a documentary on Netflix. Chris Watts, he killed his wife and 2 daughters. He like went nuts one day.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know the details off the top of my head.
I would have to see it on. Let me see, just so I know, like from
Chris
Netflix,
Watts?
like Chris Watts, Netflix. It's called
Watts Family Murder.
American Murder: The Family Next Door. So basically, like Chris Watts, like was like seemed like a normal guy or whatever, and you know had the family. They lived in a nice house, nice neighborhood, all that stuff, and just eventually, like he became like distant to his wife or whatever, and then he ended up seeing some other woman behind her back, and then like once the wife like kind of found that out or whatever, and he like couldn't hide it anymore, he like snapped, and it was like but it was just like really weird because he was just like, man, any other day like you just see this guy and you're like, oh, it's just like some normal white dude, just normal dad, works his job, goes home to his kids, and that he used to work I think on oil rigs or something. It was like he worked something with the oil industry. He dumped his kids in the oil wells, like in the big canisters.
It says he murdered his pregnant wife and his daughters.
And she was pregnant. Yes. Yes.
The wife was pregnant. Crap, bro.
I remember hearing that case, and he like faked the news that he was like guilty. He was like pretending. Yeah.
Totally finessed everybody for a while, and then they like hardcore sat him down and like interrogated him, and he finally snapped because his dad was there too, and I think it's because his dad was there, and he finally was just like, yeah, Dad, I fucking killed him.
I have to watch that.
You know? It's nuts, dude. But it's just like crazy to see because like he had a great job, great house, wife and kids, like.
You just didn't see him as a person who would do that. Yeah. I gotcha.
And then boom, snap. But like ever since then, I bring that up to say, because we were just talking about like houses being murdered and whatever. Since then, nobody's lived in that house. The house is like struggling to get sold. And mind you, it's like going for like $350,000. Like it's an expensive neighborhood. Yeah. It's in Colorado. Wow. So it's a beautiful house, everything huge, massive.
Like how much do you think the house is worth?
Huh?
How much do you think the house is really worth? Like close to $1 million?
I would say like 350 to like 450.
Oh, so
maybe half a million or more. It could be more now at this point.
Yeah, I thought
it's
you meant
Colorado.
Like, Colorado's expensive. Yeah, it's definitely getting more expensive.
Now.
Yeah,
literally, it just goes up and up. But they're saying that nobody will buy it because like neighbors will see the lights turn on. They've seen figures walking throughout the house and stuff. They've seen a woman that went into the house and she never came out. Like, there's so many stories.
I could see that being some like teenagers who saw the documentary and are just trying to like spook people, though.
Well, I mean, there's theories out there.
But there's no access to that house, though.
Yeah,
and you're not going to break in that house because it's. I mean, you could, I guess, but it's in such a nice neighborhood that like, and everybody knows that house, so everybody keeps an eye out.
Like,
that's so weird, dude.
I'm 50-50 on
really
ghosts. Like, I'm 50-50 where they could either be real or they could be fake. And I mean, when you get into ghost stuff, like it goes way deeper than people think. Like, you know, there's there's so many aspects.
You gotta deal with
about
demons.
Yeah, and then it gets into like the Bible and all that stuff too.
We did a whole episode on that, like when we first started the podcast, and I think one of the things that like I brought up was like, what if it's just like an important moment in time, like an event happened, and so like that area,
the energy stuck there.
Yeah, like that. There, we had a whole thing about that. And
interesting.
Ghosts could. There's a lot of theories for them, but like the thing is, we don't
love the paranormal.
We don't have
fun
any
to talk about. Like
it's great.
Yeah.
I love anything based off of it. I watch so many channels and stuff.
That's what I try
to do. Like, obviously, as I say in the beginning of the podcast, I'm very busy, but one of the things I wanted to do as a content creator is travel to all the haunted places, because I love horror stuff, paranormal. I'm into all that kind of stuff. And I would love to hit all the most haunted places. Because I watch, like, I don't know if you guys watch a bunch of YouTube, but like Sam and Colby's like a big paranormal channel. TFIL does like a lot of paranormal stuff. The Paranormal Files. There's so many channels that I watch on there. Ghost Adventures, all that stuff. But it's always intrigued me, like going to like all these haunted places, like the Queen Mary, the ship. It's like, I think it's in California.
Yeah,
but it's Long Beach, most haunted, one of the most haunted ships.
I almost went
I just want to go there.
I almost went to a jiu-jitsu tournament on the Queen Mary. That would have been dope.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do all kinds of stuff there. It's now it's just like it's permanently docked and it's a hotel.
Yeah.
But
so
I'd love to go there.
Because someone had mentioned, I think, what was it, the beaches of Normandy, and that brought up Pearl Harbor, and I wonder is there anything that like either Normandy or like where Pearl Harbor is, where like they've noticed like paranormal activity. Yeah, like,
I mean, you know, the USS Arizona is like, you can, like, there's the monuments on it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and oil still comes out of it and stuff like that. And like people say they hear like knocking and things like that because a bunch of people literally just drowned in there.
Well, because I have a buddy named Gabriel who he's actually, I think he's part Hawaiian, and so he goes to Hawaii every once in a while, right? And I think back in like first grade, he had talked about Pearl Harbor and like how he'd been there and stuff like that. And I always thought like at the time I was like, oh, that's super cool. Like you can actually like you can see like the actual ship itself, right? But it's like there's like a science experiment there, pretty much. Like you could see how stuff would age, like modern technology, I guess, in a way. You can see how that would age and stuff like that. But the paranormal part, I guess I never really thought of that.
Yeah, and my issue with paranormal stuff is that it's so hard to trust shows and like content creators and stuff like that, because when there's a camera involved, it is so easy to fake stuff off camera that makes it seem like something's going on camera. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
that's why I want to do it myself, because I know, granted, I would be in the same boat of like having to prove to other people, but I know within myself I'm a trustworthy person, and like that's why I like the Paranormal Files, because I think all his stuff is actually like just as legit as like if I would do it. He genuinely wants to find proof, and he's like just such a soft-spoken, like seems like a really honest person. So it's like benefit of the doubt, but like you can tell he's really trying to get, like Sam and Colby, they're more of that entertainment style. And I feel like some of the stuff that they do is entertainment more so than actual proof. But like with the Paranormal Files, I'm like, dude, this guy literally just goes in with the camera. He has his devices and stuff, and he's just genuinely trying to find proof.
Yeah.
And that's what I would love to do.
Are there people who do like live streams and stuff like that for that, or no? Like, because I feel like that would be
live streams. I think Paranormal Files, he does one every now and then. Yeah,
I think
because his channel's pretty big.
Like, if you caught something on a live stream, that would be like,
he did a 2-hour one. When I first found the channel, he did one, and they discovered some stuff and had stuff happen. So I'm like, I mean, even with a live stream, like you could fake stuff. You could have stuff pre-set up before the live stream. Like, you could do all kinds of things. So it's like,
even really if you were to show like you traveling there and stuff like that, you setting everything up, like there's a way you could definitely do it. But
that's what
even then,
to do.
how would you even be able to like detect a ghost, man? Because like
there's so many different
there's like EMF readers that are made. Like,
there's so many things now that are made to like detect ghosts now. There's just so many more devices than like what we're used to, like EMF reader or whatever, but like there's so many things now. There's different camera, well, I guess they are cameras in themselves that track like body temperature and all that stuff. So the Sam and Colby one I just watched the other day, they went to the Conjuring house, the real life Conjuring house,
like the one from the first one
happened,
from
the first movie. Yes.
So like
the
Jersey
family.
Is it
Jersey? I believe it's in Jersey.
Yeah.
So, or Rhode Island, Jersey or Rhode Island,
it's
somewhere
Rhode
around
Island.
there.
It's Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Because we just watched that. It's a badass movie.
Nice. Oh, it's great. Yeah, great movie. Love the Conjuring movies. But they had found on that heat sensing radar, whatever you want to call it, that camera, there was a little kid. I mean, it was like clear as day, and I guess you could Photoshop anything, whatever. But like, if they didn't, He's literally in the corner of this window, and the eyes stand out and everything. It looks like a little kid. And the one girl had claimed that she had literally seen a little kid, and they had a medium with them. There's a medium on TikTok. You guys might know of her. It's Amanda the Medium, I believe is what she goes by, or Amanda Ray Official, I think is her actual tag, but she goes by Amanda the Medium. And she can apparently see dead people and talk to dead people. So, like, you guys know mediums, like, before, like, I even said that, you know what mediums are and what they do. Okay. So, that's what she claims she can do, and she was with Sam and Colby for this whole thing. And when the girl said that she had seen what she had seen, she goes, that's not a little kid, and that's not that was never a living being. She's like, that's a demon.
It's a goddamn demon.
Oh,
yeah,
baby.
And it's in the Conjuring house. So it's like, with that stuff, it's like, you kind of got to take people's word for it, but like,
because in the Conjuring, isn't one of the little girls says that she's playing with a kid, right? In that movie,
yeah,
yep.
Is it Amanda
in
V.
the movie,
Ray? I don't know.
I want to say it's Amanda Ray Official, because I just looked her up after I watched the episode. I want to say that that's what it is.
What's her following? Do you
know? Let's see. Hold on one second. Yeah, Amanda Ray Official. Here we go. She's at 425,000 followers, but what I thought was really cool about seeing her, because I've only ever seen her on TikTok. So seeing her in a YouTube video, she made it like very clear, because she's like, she doesn't do this for the views or anything like that. I mean, her following isn't huge. Really, I mean, 400,000 in today's numbers is like, it's good, but like, it's not that crazy. But she made it known in like Sam and Colby's video, like, I'm not here for your guys' clout. I'm not here for literally anything. She's like, this is what I do on a day-to-day basis, and I want to make that very clear. She didn't really know a whole... I mean, she knew about the Conjuring house and stuff, but she didn't know of like all these things, and she's saying all these facts to the owner, and only that the owner would know currently, because he's obviously told everything of the house. He's lived there for the past couple of years. And they're like, how do you know that? And she's like, that's what I do. Yeah. You know? So I honestly believe her, because if you believe in like mediums and stuff like that, I mean, she's spitting out facts and stuff that like literally only certain people would know, and she's never been there. So it's just pretty crazy.
I just think it's weird that like of all the things, like, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Like you normally, like if you were going to be like faking it, you would go for the obvious answer of, oh yeah, that's the kid who died there or something like that. But the fact that
that's not what she did at all.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys should watch the video, honestly, if you like that kind of stuff.
Right now, so
I would check it out. Like Sam and Colby's usually they're a little extra, and but they're entertaining, But like she throughout multiple times in the videos, like, I'm not here for your clout. I'm not here for all this crap. She literally was like trying to get them to leave when they contacted what she realized what they were talking to. She's like, we need to leave. Like, she's like, you guys can continue your video. You can do whatever. I'm here for it. Like, that's fine. That's what you guys do. It's your job, whatever. She's like, I'm not doing this. She's like, I'm not doing it because I don't think I'm equipped to save you and protect you guys and myself.
Yeah.
And she's like religious. She believes in God and all that stuff. She's like, I can only do so much, and even this I don't feel safe doing because of what they were dealing with. And it was like, dude,
that's freaky.
She was just so adamant of like, I'm not here for your clout. I'm not here for any of that shit. She's like trying to like, they put in a lot. Most stuff like you would think they would cut and like take off camera. She's like, nah, I don't care about this shit. Cameras, whatever, don't care. She's like,
an hour and a half
facts.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a full-on documentary right there, bro.
Well, it's like how often you get to go to the actual real-life Conjuring house. Like, you better make content. Yeah. I would make like 3 videos while I was there. I would like film so much content.
Does the house look pretty much like it does in the movie? Like, is it pretty much
not at all?
Really?
Not
See, I
at
hate
all.
when they do shit like that.
Nope. But what's cool about the movies is like they talk about Ed and Lorraine Warren, which is for the most part how they explain it is true. And then Bathsheba, the witch, that was real. Bathsheba's real. Like she was an actual woman that cursed the land or whatever and did all that stuff. She's supposed to be one of the entities that's there. But they ran into another demon that was called I forget what his name. He's one of like the if you know like demonology, all that stuff. He's like one of the main names underneath like Abaddon and like all those kind of names, like any demon name, whatever. I can't remember what it started with a B as well.
Is it Beelzebub or whatever?
Beelzebub. Beelzebub.
Yeah, Beelzebub or something like that.
That's who he kept coming through their machines. They just kept, because like what they would do is they would put on noise canceling headphones. The other people would ask the questions to whatever they're trying to contact, and the person with the headphones would say what came through the spirit box. And all the answers they were getting is like at the end when it was just Sam and Colby that went back down after the medium was like, I don't want to be down here, because they're with like Sam's girlfriend was there and Sam's girlfriend's friend, and so they all stayed upstairs, and Sam and Colby was like, we're here, we need to get the content. How often are we going to get to, explore the Conjuring house? Like, we have to do this. So they went down there, and Beelzebub, like every question that was going through, like, because they would rotate. Sam would ask some questions, Colby would wear the headphones, vice versa. And so many times they just kept saying Beelzebub. They just hold, like, they can't hear anything else, and they're just saying what they hear. It's like Beelzebub, Beelzebub, Beelzebub. And it was just like, what the fuck?
You guys,
like, can you imagine if it is real? You're talking to a demon.
One of my favorite horror movies is Sinister. Seen that one?
Sinister's
dude.
Great.
Dude, that movie. There's only one of those, right?
No, there's two. The second one's actually okay. Like
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. But I like Ethan Hawke, so like when I saw he was in it, I was like, all right, I'm sold. Like it's gonna be a good one. I like Ethan Hawke a lot. Training Day. I mean, he was in the new Magnificent Seven. Dude, he did this movie. Really like stood out to me. It was called Good Kill, and he's a drone operator, and so like he's like in California, but he's killing people in the Middle East, and it just shows how like it kind of fucks with them,
Yeah,
dude, I've heard
does that.
It's a good movie.
That's like there's still like a huge talking point now where it's like even though you're not actually there, it's like you're still
responsible
doing
for pulling the trigger.
like it's like that's a really like strange part of like our psychology. It's like even though you're not the one like they're doing it, you press the button, so you still feel responsible for it. It's strange.
I've heard a lot of stories where they're like, they like, because there's these big like Taliban leaders and stuff like that knowingly don't go out because they know as soon as they go outside and they can confirm that it's them, they're just gonna, like, they don't care who's out there, they're just gonna drop a little missile. And so like it's like the one time these guys ever go out is funerals, so there's a lot of funeral bombings that happen. It's really messed up because there's a lot of like
yeah I had a friend that, like, my roommate was saying, because his brother does the drone operation stuff, that it's like it hits you hard when you first do it, but then the moment you hear a story where it's like this squad got killed or like they did something, like when you do it out of revenge, like it just, all that guilt, all that doubt kind of just vanishes, and you're just like, okay, let's fucking annihilate them, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a really interesting way to put it.
Yeah, and then that's when it like kind of, that's like your gateway drug into.
I mean, in a way, it's propaganda, like you're.
Yeah.
It's,
I can't imagine what that feeling is like. So
that's the thing. So, what do you guys think that like military propaganda just doesn't work anymore?
Oh no, it definitely works. We just it's they're more subtle about it now.
You think so? Because I know like a lot of people, they've been trashing on like the newer like campaigns that they've been doing, like the ad campaigns for like the army and stuff like that.
I think they've just been getting bashed a lot lately because right now the military is they need people, but at the same time we're not at war, so it's hard for them to justify recruiting so many people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But at the same time, they're trying to promote like an equal opportunity for everybody. So they're like, we want women, we want, same-sex couples. Like, it doesn't matter, like there's commercials that I've seen where like the mom comes home, takes off her uniform, sits down on the couch, and then her wife and her kid or whatever, are like watching TV, and it's like, anybody can be a Marine type of thing. So like that right now is being criticized because it's like, you look at other military commercials around the world and they're just like big buff dudes, like running into battle and stuff, and like it kind of makes us look soft. But I mean, I get what's going on.
I heard some story about, apparently, like, I don't know if it was the Marines or if it was the Army, but like one branch had like an esports thing going on, like they had a Twitter account for it and stuff like that.
I think it was the Army.
And they were, you know what I'm talking about, huh?
Yeah,
where it was like they had some giveaway that you could enter into or something like that, and like when you clicked the link, it took you to like a, what was it?
Or like to sign up, they basically took your information to try and solicit to you to like try and sign up.
Yeah, and like they can be a little bit sneaky about it and stuff like that from what I've seen. And it's just like I feel like there's been a lot of like negative stories recently.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the recruiters when I was in high school, like they really don't care about your ASVAB score until you're a senior. And so like when I took it as a senior, I studied for it. I got like a high 80 score out of like a 99. So like I was in like the top percentile or whatever, you know. Dude, they came to me and they were like, "Oh, you want to join the Coast Guard and like go save lives? So, you know, we got pararescue, we got this and that." Like they tried so hard to like sell me like, "Oh, you could do that in this thing, and like you get to pick your job, you get to do this, like you'll be in control, this and that." And like I talked to other friends who have joined and like, dude, they like promised me all this, and like they were like, "Oh, actually you don't qualify for that," or "Actually this job's gone now, this and that." They do everything to sell you to sign that contract. And then once you sign that contract, it's like, we'll just use you for whatever we need you for, you know?
Well, so that's what one of my friends was telling me. Like he was saying like I think there was some like bonus that he was supposed to get or something like that, and that like there was like weird stuff that was going on with it, but like he still wants to do it, but he's like, it sucks. Like it's a lot of like work.
I would not recommend joining the military nowadays unless you don't have another way to pay for college and like you want the free college, or like you legit just want to serve your country. Because I mean, like it does feel good to be able to say like, hey, like I did some time like literally like, you know, saving lives and doing this and protecting the environment, taking pictures of oil spills and stuff like that so they could figure out where they needed to coordinate stuff to stop it from spreading and things like that. Like it's cool to say that I did that stuff, you know, but at the same time, I don't like, because people ask me like, if you couldn't join the Coast Guard, what branch would you join? And I'm like, I don't, honestly, if I couldn't join the Coast Guard, I don't know if I would have joined at all, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I always hear the Air Force is like another, like if you scored really well, like that's a good one to go into.
It's very competitive though. Like
I'm
everybody joins the Air Force wanting to fly, and most people get stuck working for the people who do fly, you know?
Yeah, being an engineer, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
greasing the tracks that the freaking jets take off and get caught on and stuff, and it's like that's one of the worst jobs.
The tracks?
Yeah, it's all moving parts, man. It's all hydraulically controlled and stuff.
Wait. When you say tracks, do you mean like the actual thing they like take off from, or do you mean like part of?
Yeah.
Whoa. What the heck?
There's a documentary. I forgot what it's called, but it's literally like the most realistic military like portrayal of the military I've ever seen, and it's about this one like aircraft carrier, and they go to like different people who have the different jobs on the ship, and you see like how much shit people have to put up with, and there's like the one like higher up chief that's just going around like totally like persuading people to do shit they don't want to, you know, and like being a hard ass and stuff. But like you see the one guy who like just decides like, hey, I don't like, I quit, and they're like, you can't just quit, and like you see him like basically get threatened with like court martial and stuff like that because he just decides like, this isn't for me and I don't want to do it. But he's stuck. He signed a contract. They own you for 4 years. And so like,
see that's where I wouldn't be able to do it. It's like,
and you know that like on those, and like I got a buddy who he went from the Navy to the Coast Guard, and he always told stories. He said one time he got into an argument with a pilot, and he was just like, respectfully, fuck you, sir, about something. And he was like, oh, okay. And like came back, and they court-martialed him, and he got sentenced to like 30 days in the brig. And all they gave him was like, they would be like, all right, like here's a gallon of water for the day, and then, or like a gallon of water and a loaf of bread for like 3 days. And every 3 days they'd give him like another loaf of bread and a gallon of water. Like like they own you. They can do whatever the hell they want with you, man.
See, that's why I'm like, nah, I'm good.
There was a
Good
guy.
on all that.
There was
anybody owning my life.
When I was in, there was a big story going around. This one guy who was getting picked on a lot and like wanted to get out, and they wouldn't let him. He literally went and hid in a bilge for like 2 weeks. They thought he had fallen overboard, and then it turned out somebody was bringing him food and stuff like that. So the bilge is like where the bilge that I'm talking about. So they have like an engine room. And so the bilge is where like all the excess oil and stuff like that you spill goes to, and then it goes to like a thing that like filters it, and then like, you know, you have to mess with the filters and stuff later on. But anyways, he was hiding in there like by the engines for like 2 weeks, like pooping and peeing down there, and somebody was bringing him food and this and that. And then so when they found him, and then like his whole story came out where he was talking about how he got bullied and this and stuff like that. That whole ship just got fucked, man. Like the whole chain of command got like kicked, you know, it got booted, court-martialed, all this stuff. And like when that happens, dude, like it's crazy. It affects everybody because they in the military, if like something gets out like to the news like that, like they make sure that they interview everybody, they question everybody. Anybody who has anything that led to this big mess gets in trouble, like in some way or another. You know, like it's like that's why they say like getting in trouble in the military, if you get a dishonorable discharge, is almost worse than being a felon because it's so well documented.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like that.
Yeah.
So, what exactly causes a dishonorable discharge?
Sexual assault, purposely hurting people, purposely disobeying stuff that leads to like accidents, repeated
not
offenses,
being mentally stable.
Yeah, all kinds
like
of
stuff. Developing a mental illness.
If you have a mental illness, you get a medical discharge.
Or oh yeah, I guess that would fall under medical discharge. Yeah,
but there's different discharges.
Unless you do something crazy, I guess.
Because
because of that.
There's honorable discharge, which is what I got. Then there's general discharge, which is you know, like you got in trouble or got out under certain circumstances that like they weren't happy about. There's medical discharge, dishonorable discharge, and then there's one between general and I might be messing this up. I believe there's one between general and honorable called less than honorable. And there's some places that say if you get anything less than an honorable discharge, including like a less than honorable discharge, like they won't hire you.
Other than honorable discharge?
Yeah, it might be that. Other than honorable. Yeah.
Like there's like medical.
Because I see
medical and honorable are the only ones that like don't affect anything.
I see medical, dishonorable, bad conduct, other than honorable, general discharge under honorable conditions, and honorable.
Yeah. But it's the disciplinary system in the military is crazy.
That's the thing. People they ask me a lot, like, "Hey, are you gonna join too?" And I'm like, "No, dude, that's not for me." Like, it's a lot of stress from what I've seen. So
I mean, like I said, I say all the time, I would go back and do it all again, but there's no way I could have done more than the 6 years that I did. I think I would have snapped, man. It was just the dumb stuff you deal with in the military because the way it's structured is just it's all out of your control and it's all political.
Yeah,
you know, in some way or another, and it's just like people like not everybody I will say, but the majority of people that I worked with were not the happiest people. Or they showed up kind of happy, and then when they realized how things went downhill kind of quick, you know? Like they just...
Yeah.
A lot of people are just like, hey, I'm just here to do my job, and that's it. Like they don't want to mingle with anybody.
But do you think it's because like there's not really like a driving force right now to like really join, or like...
No, I think it's just the military. I mean, you see the way they recruit and they like promote it as like this, you know, the few, the proud type of thing. And then you get in and you realize like, no, you're pretty much just the government's bitch, you know? And like, it's not a fun thing to do. Like, I mean, there's fun. I wouldn't say fun, but there's very rewarding jobs in the military, but everything comes with a vice, you know? Like even me, like doing search and rescue was badass, but I also had to work on the helicopters and that part sucked ass.
That's true.
Like all the maintenance part of it sucked.
Yeah.
See, because I've always wondered.
Tedious.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean, the Coast Guard's poor, so the helicopters we were working on were from the 80s. So, like, everything's messed up in some way or another.
Holy shit. What the fuck?
I mean, helicopters, they're expensive, so I understand, but, like...
The only reason they're expensive is because they don't make them anymore, though.
I remember you saying that a couple times you had to, like, speak up and shit, because, like, whether it was, like, the pilot, right? Or like
people just in general. Like people definitely try to get away with stuff even though there's such big roles, and it's like if you like do you want to risk like just letting it go and then everybody getting in trouble and they're like, why didn't you say something, you know?
Yeah.
Like there was a time where I lost a flashlight because somebody walked off with it and never gave it back, and I couldn't remember what happened to it. So I was like, I can't find my flashlight. And there was 2 helicopters out doing like a training mission. They had to call them back because they don't know where that flashlight went. It could be in an engine bay or something, you know?
Yeah.
So I felt like it does not feel good to be the reason they have to call helicopters back. But at the same time, everybody's like, you did the right thing. You know, like it's so easily could have not said anything. But the thing that like keeps people saying stuff is they make you engrave your initials into your stuff. So like I was like, I ain't letting them find my flashlight with my initials on it. Like I'm gonna get fucked, bro. Like they're gonna like I'll get in big trouble if they find that somewhere and I didn't say something.
How'd you find the flashlight then?
It was in the dude's locker the whole time. He walked off with it. He never gave it back.
Did he get chewed out for that? Or?
Well, that's the thing. He was a higher up, so he didn't get chewed out. He was just like,
oh, of course.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry.
But if you were to have gotten in trouble, he wouldn't have probably said anything. That's crazy.
I mean, like when that happens, they like start talking to everybody. They start calling people who are at home, and they called him, and he calls. Somebody definitely called him and was like, "Hey, do you know anything about this?" He's like, "No." And then he texts me. He's like, "Hey, I think I know where it is." And I was like, "Oh man." Like we spent like the last 2 hours like pulling up helicopter panels and looking inside where the fuel stuff is. And I'm like, oh god, dude, this sucks. Because everybody's just looking at me like this is your fault. We have all this. We have to do all this.
Well, on the bright side, he probably felt stupid for that. So like, like at least it wasn't really, because like that's one of the things like, and I guess maybe I'm stupid for this, or maybe I'm selfish. I don't really know how to put it, but like, whenever something like that happens, where like I feel like it's my fault, a lot of time I'm like, okay, let's run through it again. Was it actually my fault? And there's a lot of times where I'm like, no, it wasn't really my fault. I'm just like, I'm putting all the pressure on myself. Like I know like there's not much I could have done in that situation. Like, that's my way of rationalizing things, I guess.
Yep.
Sure.
No.
Happens a lot in Valorant, just saying.
Yeah. I need to work on my logic there. And that there was a lot of moments last night when we were playing.
Freaking Genie, dude! There's these guys that last match that we played. They kept going to the freaking vent, and I'm sitting there spectating, and I can't say anything because it's late and mom and dad are asleep, and so I'm like, Genie, someone went to the vent, just turn around and shoot at them, and then he dies, and I'm like, dang it, Genie, are you freaking serious, dude?
Yeah,
every time, bro.
That's big dumb.
I think Genie gets tunnel vision because he's still trying to like kind of get the feel of the game. Like,
dude,
he'll go somewhere and there's a dude standing in the corner. He doesn't see him because he's just like,
bro. You said something about his
Valorant was tough to learn for me. Like I don't even. I gave
all
up.
The abilities.
Like, I suck at this, dude.
I only play
so
Phoenix.
bad.
He's the only guy I know how to play, bro. He's super easy to play.
And the reaction times, people's reaction times. I'm like, what? How? Like, dude,
I know.
I popped around a corner in a millisecond. I'm dead. I'm like, what the hell?
What was that one match where apparently like the other team was like lag switching?
Oh yes,
of course.
Somebody
switching.
Somebody was doing something. Yeah.
Like everyone's connection just went to like straight poo poo.
I had to.
It's a way to
restart
make
the game.
Lag switching is a way to make the other team lag while you have a clear connection. We had that happen in Call of Duty all the time. Back when I had a clan.
How do they do
like
that?
Black Ops 1 days.
I
honestly don't know how it's done because I don't do it.
If you know, really don't explain it because I don't want any of these trolls figuring out how to do it.
I wouldn't want anybody to know.
But it's more so like, are they grabbing your IP somehow or what?
That's what I think. So it's got to be something like that.
I don't know. I don't think you can grab an IP in a game like that anymore. Like they've made it so you can't. Because that used to be a really bad thing during the Xbox days.
There's definitely a way to do stuff though. Because like I remember clearly back in the Black Ops 1 days, we had a clan and we went up against this clan called KSI, and they were like supposedly these like bigger guys that actually competed and stuff, and we just ran into them one day and we went by CBK, cold blooded killers, and our guys, like the people we had on our team, were just nutty. Like they could probably have gone on to be professional. I don't know what happened to most of them. But like we just wrecked, and this team was like talking mad smack. They're just like, dude, we do this professionally. Like we play like tournaments and stuff. We're like, okay, well, see how you do. We stomped them the first like 2 rounds. Then we started betting.
Oh wow!
I think we threw up a bet of like, I forget what it was. They would pay us something if we won, and vice versa. We agreed to pay something out. I can't remember what it was. And we like beat them the first round. Second round, they started lag switching us. And we're like, are you kidding me? Like, we were fine. We played them 3 rounds in a row already. And then this time, like, we're smacking them I mean, there was one time, not even kidding, they got maybe 10 kills on us. And I think that's when kills only, like, Team Deathmatch only went to 75 kills, I believe, in Black Ops. Now it's 100. They got like 10 kills, if that, on us. We were just stomping them. And then that game, they started switching us, and we're like, okay.
You guys didn't pay out. Please tell me you didn't pay out.
No, we didn't pay. No, because we were like, dude, you guys, we had perfect connection. All of us were fine. 3 games, we stomped these kids. And then when we started to bet, the first one where we stomped them, I think the first round, we stomped them like 75 wins to like maybe 8.
Yeah.
And then the second round, they started lag switching. There was nothing any of us could do. We were hitting major lag spikes like crazy. They were like starting to stomp us. We're like, dude, there's no way all of us, and mind you, we're all in different locations throughout the United States. Like, there's no way we're all lagging right now. There's just no way. And it became very obvious that they did that. But they were very salty, and they talked their smack and whatever. And like, you guys just got stomped 3 rounds in a row. The first time, once we put up a bet, we beat you 75 to like 8. Like... Yeah. It speaks for itself at that point.
I feel like clans aren't really a thing anymore, which is kind of sad to see. I remember that used to be a thing all the time.
It's very sad to see because it's like huge. Like, that was such a competitive. That's why I loved Call of Duty. Is like throwing your clan tag in your name used to mean something. Yeah. Now it's like I see people in COD all the time, like Trump or MAGA. And like,
it's just a way to troll.
I'm just like, man, it's all it is a troll.
I think mine is just you suck or something like that.
Mine's G Fuel.
Mine's talent.
Yeah.
No. There was one point where I think we had it ours as Tegrity from South Park.
Yeah, Tegrity. Where's your Tegrity?
Tegrity Farms. Yeah.
Bro, I don't. People talk about how like South Park isn't as good anymore. But that whole storyline with God, I can't remember the names. I haven't watched South Park in a while. Is it Randy, the dad?
Yeah, Randy.
He starts his own like weed business. Oh my god, it's so funny, dude. So funny. Like, there's so many storylines with that are hilarious.
But what was the Steamy Ray Vaughan or something like that?
Yeah. That's an old episode, but no, there was an episode where so like Randy is like buying up farmland and he's like expanding his like weed empire, right? And the one farmer next door is like, he's like people have stopped coming to me to buy cows or like stuff like that because like this whole area is just like weed. And then so he's like, I want you to buy my farm. And he's like, okay. And so he buys the farm, but then he's like, what do I do with all these cows? And then so like I guess we just gotta kill them. So like they get high and just start going around just shooting all the cows. I was like, bro. And like what's that song like Pass the Dolce, like that song's just playing the whole time when they kill these cows.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Yeah, and so I guess now's a good time to like switch to movies and TV if that's okay, Chris.
I was literally like for the past 20 minutes waiting to get to this point because I wanted to ask you guys about Fear Street.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else watched it.
We were supposed to watch it. Yeah,
I had him let you guys know about it once he told me he wanted me on the podcast. I'm like, man, you guys gotta have them watch Fear Street.
Yeah,
because it's just like everybody's talking about it,
Chris, mom and dad are watching it and they like it, so
it's good.
I
just watched it for the second time.
It's a trilogy all about this one it's
the towns, Sunny Side and Shady Side, and a bunch of bad shit always happened to Shady Side people.
People always
and then
dying,
Sunny Side was always like perfect. And they just come to find out the reasoning behind it, and there's twists and turns to it all. But it's like each movie, it's 3 movies put into one, essentially. Or well, no, it's one movie. Sorry,
it's
3 different movies.
One story, 3 parts.
It's just they couldn't fit it all together to explain everything, so they split it.
So it's like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess,
but I mean, since they filmed it back to back to back, they do feel like one movie. Like
it was based off the Goosebumps Fear Street books.
Yeah, R.L. Stein wrote it. Yeah. But and it's rated R, dude. It's super brutal,
dude. The kills are nuts.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil any of them. But like,
no, I don't either.
The first movie takes
brutal.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, the first movie takes place in '94, so like you kind of got like '80s Stranger Things type vibes. And then the second one takes place in 78, I think,
or 78.
Yeah,
74 or 78, something like that.
Because one of the ladies they end up talking to in the first one, she had like all this shit happen to her when she was a kid, and so the second
found
movie,
the start of it of like why.
Which one was your favorite?
Happening.
I honestly think the third one was my favorite. Surprisingly,
I like the third one just because you found why it was happening, and then it was the end of it all.
I think I think the way they did, because like for me, I have a hard time getting into old timey stuff like medieval time stuff or like early, you know, and so
Same.
The third one is 1666, and so I was like, oh god,
they did it well.
They did. It was basically about like somebody getting accused of witchcraft, and you just see the whole village like turn on this one.
Wait,
it's crazy, bro. I don't want to spoil any of it.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen any of them yet, but I've read the reviews.
You guys gotta watch them for sure.
Good.
It's so good, bro. I honestly would watch it again. And the second one has a Friday the 13th vibe.
Are we doing a watch party or not, bro?
I'm down. I'm down.
To. Watch it again with you guys if you want to. Yeah, I'll watch it again. I just watched it back for the second time past 2 nights.
Dang, bro.
I just wanted to see if I missed anything or whatever, because like sometimes I like get ADHD or whatever, and I'll like look at my phone for too long, and like I already noticed like after I watched it back a couple times, I'm like, oh, I don't really remember that part or hearing that. I just sometimes I can't stay to like one thing. So
the best way I could describe it is like the second one. What I liked about it was it has like those Friday the 13th vibes, right? Where there's like somebody going around murking everybody. But the way they do it is like people are like hiding in places and they're like scared to go out there, you know, so it like kind of portrays that, and I'm like, I love that vibe where it's like somebody's going around murking people, and
it's like there's no holds bars with who they killed too. Like a lot of horror movies, they don't typically kill kids.
Yeah, and in this one, it's just like
this movie didn't give a flying shit. You're like, children, like 11-year-olds.
Yeah, like
you know what? Hack them away.
The killer walks in.
They show it too.
Yeah, the killer walks in and there's a bunch of kids, and all of a sudden it's just like, no, he's not gonna, and just murks them all, dude.
Annihilates.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
You see like arms and legs fly.
It's not a big part of the movie, so that's why we could say that. It doesn't mean anything.
There's killing throughout it all.
They like, I think that's like something that people really like try and stay away from, and I guess I kind of understand why, because it's like that's messed up, right? But it's like that's not realistic. Like if you were to have like a threat like that would happen all the time, because what is a kid gonna do?
Dan, didn't you say something in the last podcast, like when you were talking about being in movies and stuff, you'd love to be in a movie where it's like real horror, like real people reactions, like how people would really react. I think you said something about that. Dude, when you said that, I'm like, I've been wanting to make a movie where it's like real reactions, like genuinely how like all of us would react. Essentially,
there's got to be at least one person who has some common sense. Is like, bro, I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. I ain't staying around for this. Like, you guys see all this stuff happening, and you're just gonna like act like it's okay, like. No, I'm out.
I've been watching this,
and they never come back.
Show called I've been watching this show. It was on Netflix. It's called Black Summer, and it's about a zombie apocalypse. I don't know if any of you guys seen it.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
But literally, like towards the end of season 2, and they're still not shooting the fucking zombies in the head. And I'm like, you guys know,
I'm so over
shooting them in the head. It kills them. Like it, but it's sad because it's like they found that out in like the previous season. They're like, oh, they started shooting them, which not realistic right off the bat, because anybody that's ever been, if you're in today's society, you've seen a million zombie movies, and you know that shooting them in the head is what kills them.
Yeah.
Which would kill anything anyways. And they're still in season 2, they're having AKs and shit, shooting them in the body and stuff. And I'm like, bro,
just wasting ammo.
Just shoot them in the fucking head. And it drove me insane. I finished season 2. The season 3 hasn't come out yet, but I'm like, so frustrating to me when it's not even the slightest like bit of realistic.
Have you guys ever seen Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah,
like basically the first zombie movie ever made. Dude,
no, I haven't.
Dude.
It's so fucking good, man. Like even though it's like an old black and white movie, like the way they do it is so good, man. Because like like you got to think from the aspect of like nobody had ever thought of the concept of zombies yet. So they're like, and like this, like they took the concept from this movie and like all this stuff about it, you know, like how you kill the zombies, like they walk slow, all that stuff. And like everybody just copied it, you know? But like that.
Well, Black Summer, they run. They full out
yeah.
sprint. So it's like Dawn of the Dead, and I'm like, dude, like me and my friends are huge like zombie nerds and stuff like that. We love horror movies and all that stuff, and we've always talked about that. We're like, dude, can you imagine if they weren't like Walking Dead zombies and they full out sprint? Dude, I would be done for, and so I can't run for shit. I'd be like, fuck this. After like the third time of trying to run and being completely out of breath, I'd be like, all right, I'm not doing this the rest of my life. I ain't gonna make it. Like I'm done.
So they can run, but can they? Are they like? Is it like superhuman? Like what was that one movie where it was like? Yeah, is it like that, or is it just they can like,
what movie?
run like
World War Z?
Is it like that?
No,
like superhuman. Or?
Not superhuman. They can just run. Really,
so it's like
all they do is sprint. In Black Summer, yeah, all they do is just sprint. Dawn of the Dead was the same way. All they did was sprint. That was the only difference with Dawn of the Dead versus other zombie movies.
I think the scariest zombie movie is probably like 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. Those
I never got to see that.
You think so?
Yeah.
I watched those when I was like 12 and fell asleep.
So
it was like some of the most boring dialogue and like story ever. And if I'm falling asleep at 12 watching a zombie movie, I'm like, I think that says something.
The second one, what's cool about it though is it's like they've kind of figured out how to like still live and like create a society with zombies around. And so they have like this one downtown area that's like locked down, and they have like a perimeter, and there's like soldiers, and like Jeremy Renner's like one of the main characters. He's like a soldier with a sniper rifle that like watches one of the. He like looks around and like if somebody sees a zombie, he shoots it. Kind of like like The Gray, where like Liam Neeson like kind of like patrols like the oil plant area and shoots wolves. It's like that, and and somebody gets in and they're infected, and it all goes to shit, and like it gets to the point where they have to like napalm the city and stuff. It's pretty badass. The first one's very. I
feel like
slow.
I need to rewatch them.
The first one's very
28
slow.
days. That's 28 days, right?
Yeah,
and then they did weeks, and then they
sequel.
did.
They're talking
Did
about
they do a third one?
They're talking about making 28 months later. Like we've survived and like.
So the first one's the one I fell asleep during, and I don't believe I ever gave 28 weeks a chance because the first one I fell asleep. So
the first one's very low budget, and so like it's just very slow. But the second one, just right away at the beginning, it's like 0 to 100.
I'll have to watch that one.
Yeah, second one's good, higher budget. As well. Like the way, and like they're like, we got a code whatever, you know, and like you just see everybody go like, oh shit, you know, because like it's scary, man. These zombies, they just run through and just, you know, start biting everybody.
Running zombies would be absolutely terrifying.
And
like constantly having to be on the run from like Walking Dead, bro. Give me them zombies all day. What's going to be more of the issue is other humans at that point, which ends up that's what The Walking Dead is really at the end of the day. But any zombies that are running at me, oh man.
Well,
forget about it.
How do you feel about Call of Duty zombies?
I love it.
What about the newest like iteration of that? Like with Cold War.
When Cold War, like so the initial Cold War and Cold War dropped that zombies, because I haven't played like the new maps.
Okay, try them, and if we have you on again, dude, I want your opinion because I'm still kind of conflicted about it.
How'd you feel about the newest map? I heard the new map's good.
It's a good map. It's just the storyline is freaking stupid.
So that's the thing, though, man. Like, I hate that like people care about this storyline. It's not about the map.
See, like, I liked the World at War and Black Ops storyline where it was just like there was this secret like experiment thing that was going on.
It was simple,
and and there was a lot of mystery. I always talk about how there was a ton of mystery because it made it seem like there was a chance that it could have actually happened.
Yeah,
but like. Now they got to make it, there's an outbreak in freaking Berlin and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, we would know.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of it now. Like, it's fun. Storyline is just weird.
Right. Yeah. I'll have to try it out and download the new update or whatever and try it out. Because I do like the zombies. Honestly, the zombies, when it first dropped with Cold War, that initial map, I played the absolute shit out of it. Hours and hours and hours. I hadn't had that much fun on zombies in a long time.
Yeah.
They should have released more than one map at launch, dude. If they had released multiple maps at launch, it would have lasted a long time.
It should always be 2 maps. Always.
At least 2.
On drop. Always.
I keep saying they should just make a straight up zombie game.
They really should. And full out dedicate a story to it. Because I think they're planning it's so good.
Like, do a campaign. That's where the storyline is. Like, that's where you keep all that stuff. And then
Call of
just,
Duty needs to change something up anyway. Split off, do something else instead of the same crap that we get every year. Like once Battlefield comes out, Call of Duty's gonna go to shit.
What about a Call of Duty where you're playing on the losing side?
Like all the time? That's the story of my life.
Like where you're,
That's
where
the
you're
story
playing
of
as a
my
villain.
life.
Dude, it's so annoying. If I'm ever with random people and it's just me trying to play, forget about it. After two, 3 rounds, I'm done with it because I'm always up there and everybody else is like dog shit on my team, and I'm like, bro, I can't do it.
Super easy on Cold War.
Oh, hardcore, yeah.
That's what I hear.
But, dude, but like imagine like a World War II, like Call of Duty where you're playing as like the Axis powers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I feel like it's too
playing as
controversial. They don't have the balls to do that.
Well, maybe not
Right.
maybe not in the near future, but like maybe after enough time they would do that. Or maybe like when it's the Cold War.
Mom, Dad, can I get this game? You
Right.
get to play as a Nazi. Like what?
I mean, that's Wolfenstein, right? Or no, you're Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. It was the whole
You're killing
storyline there.
Nazis, right?
Yeah.
You're killing Nazis, and it's that the Nazis took over.
Yeah.
I see.
But I mean, great series, by the way.
Mhm.
They're supposed to come out with a third one, but I don't know.
I think
when
you
that's
should
happening.
reboot it. Just do a reboot. Give it
Again,
a
dude?
new engine. Yeah, they need a new engine. It's starting to age.
For Call of Duty or for
Wolfenstein.
Dude,
Wolfenstein,
they come out with a new engine every single time a new Wolfenstein comes out.
It's the same engine. They just built off of it.
Oh, you mean like a completely new engine?
Like the new Modern Warfare. The engine for the new Modern Warfare was awesome.
I want to see a new BioShock.
They're
Yes.
I think
The
they're
fourth
working
one
on
coming
that.
out.
I think they already somebody noticed that all the stuff was filed for it, like all the business stuff.
Yeah, they had a casting.
Did you guys see their? Oh, go ahead. Sorry. No, go. You go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say they had a writer's role open for it. I applied for it. I didn't get it, but
man.
they were looking
dude.
for a writer. And it's open world. They're looking for an open world.
Ooh.
Yes, because dude, okay, BioShock Infinite. It was originally supposed to be open world. That's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be way bigger, and then they didn't do it because it was going to take too much time, and everyone was waiting for the game to come out. And the game's still great in my opinion, but it could be so much better. Dude.
I think developers need to grow some balls and just not care how long it takes. You know, just do what you envision. Stop cutting corners.
Gamers should also be understanding of like, dude, do you want the game to be fucking dope and at its max potential? All right, then shut up.
Yeah.
Well, let the developers take their time.
I mean, look at GTA 5.
We have so many games to play.
GTA 5, perfect example. Like they delayed that thing like 4 years or whatever, and it comes out and it's still being played like crazy, you know?
Dude, but the thing is, like, there's a drought for games right now. Like, dude, Danny's playing Power Wash Simulator on stream. Dude, what happened to Dead by Daylight? What happened to Dead by Daylight, dude?
There was somebody there was somebody that was talking about a game on TikTok. And because they were an Apex Legends player and they loved battle royales, and I got behind this completely. I was like, dude, because I'm so like, especially in Apex. I don't know if you guys play Apex, but dude, the third partying in Apex is the most frustrating thing in the world because I think fighting in Apex is just so much more intense than like Warzone. Like Apex is like you got special abilities and things that you're basically almost playing chess. At the same time as trying to shoot people. You want your abilities to work at certain times with the other guys, and you're trying to make major moves. So basically the guy was like, we need to make a game where it's battle royale, but like when two teams encounter each other on the map, you drop a flag. One team will initiate or whatever. And if the other team accepts, like you'll have something pop up on your screen where like, do you accept the fight or do you decline the fight? Which declining, I didn't really understand what would happen, but like he just said it as like that's like something you could do. But if you accept the fight, boom, a shield goes around you guys within a certain amount of like a certain radius of where you're at on the map, and you guys only get to fight each other. Best team comes out on top. Now, if the third party, which like we know is going to happen, comes along and they see the shield and whatever, they cannot shoot at you, they can't hurt you in any way, but something else will pop up on your screen saying, hey, another party is in the vicinity, get ready to fight. So you know that when you're done fighting this team inside the bubble, and if you win, you have 20 seconds to shield up, get ammo, whatever, 20, 30 seconds, and then get ready to fight that other team because you know they're there.
That would be rough, dude, because I feel like if you if you win that first match, you've already used a bunch of your stuff, right? Like your ammo.
Right, but you have at least a little bit of time, unlike all these other games where if you're getting third party, let's say you just won, you can't heal in time, you can't pick up ammo because you just wasted it all in this insane battle with these people. This gives you at least a chance to prepare yourself and stay in the game. Because losing to a third party is literally like it to me ruins it for me because I'm just like, dude, yeah, cool. I had no health and no ammo. What?
Even Fortnite's like that, dude.
You're not the better team.
Fortnite's extremely guilty of that because we were playing today, and that's exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah.
That it was the last or the second last match that we played, where like we were doing pretty good, and then like there was like two other teams that just came to the exact same spot that we were at.
Three other teams.
Yep. Three other teams. So we got completely.
We were right in the
over.
middle. Right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's
like it always seems like every team is firing only at you. That happens to me all the time. I'm like, there'll be like four teams and they're all shooting us. I'm like, what's happening
with PUBG 2?
No, nothing. No word.
Idea, man.
No word.
I hope to God they never do anything with it. PUBG was garbage.
Well, that's the thing, though. PUBG paved the way for a lot of other battle royale games. You know what I mean? But like, I think the biggest thing that PUBG, the original PUBG, has against it is its engine, man. It's so fucking clunky, bro. Like,
that's why I never liked it. It's clunky as shit.
But with
horrible.
PUBG 2, they can do a new engine. They have the money to really invest into a good engine, you know, and hopefully it'll feel a lot.
There's so many battle royales though that are the same.
That's the thing. Like, they got to do something to make it different, you know.
Apex stands out, Fortnite stands out, and Warzone, I guess in itself, kind of stands out. You know, like those are the top dogs.
It's
right?
so sad, man. There's like a mass exodus happening right now. Everybody's just leaving Warzone and saying they're not coming back unless they do this and that.
Dude, the hackers are horrible.
Well, they have a lawsuit going on right now.
Absolutely horrible.
Activision has a lawsuit.
Well, Activision does. Yeah.
It's really bad. Really bad.
Yeah.
They're just as shitty of a company as they are at making games. So
it's really bad, yeah.
Basically, from my understanding, what happened is this has been going on for years, and it got to the point where the state was like, "We need to get involved," and so that's why it's such big news.
Which is insane.
Oh, well, I wonder if that's why Bungie left.
I don't know. I think that was just creative differences.
Because Bungie
wanted to separate completely because they wanted to go off and do their own thing. They wanted to be in control of Destiny, and they wanted to be in control of. Is Bungie making the next Halo, or is that somebody else? I haven't looked into it at all.
No, it's still 343. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I wonder if Activision was like pushing them to do specific things. Like they were like, "We want this at this specific time. We don't care if you're not done with it. Just release it." And that's why they were like, we don't want to do that anymore.
Do you guys think Halo might get delayed again?
I
think it could, man. I don't know. I think it could. Because they have it still as holiday, like they don't have a specific date still, and it's getting close.
I feel like they're going to have to drop it in holiday, though. I don't
know, man.
Because I feel like there's other things relying on that. Because I feel like they'll probably drop a special edition console.
I think the worst thing you can do right now during a game drought is release a buggy ass game. I think it's the worst thing you can do because look what happened to Cyberpunk.
Especially one with that magnitude of a name.
Dude, how is Cyberpunk still that broken? Because I tried playing it and I was like, it doesn't feel like a good game. Like
Chris, they literally were told, hey, we're not going to sell your game on the PlayStation or Xbox store until you get your shit together because it's unplayable. You get like 20 frames. And so they shifted all focus to that. So all the patches and stuff like that have come to PC are stuff that's in common with console.
That sucks.
So now we can't play it on PC?
Properly? No, we could play it on PC. I'm just saying they have done nothing to make it a better experience on PC. It's still the same game on PC, basically.
You get what you get kind of thing.
When I was playing it, I was like, the animations still feel like crap.
I think it's going to be another year before it's worth revisiting. Before it's worth revisiting,
dude. That, like, I feel like it's going to be even longer than that now that I've actually gone back and played it because, like, dude, there were certain animations where you would like punch somebody and a sound wouldn't even play when your fist connected to their face, bro.
It's really bad, man. That game needed at least another 2 years, I'm thinking.
Put it back in the oven.
Yeah.
Just put it back
in the oven.
Investors have gotten antsy though, because how long were they working on that game? 7 years, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It was announced
a long time.
It was announced in like 2015 or something, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, dude, you go back and look at like just simple things like the police system, where like, you know, like it was the way that it was set up, where like you commit a crime and this and that, and what we got was just like if you shoot one wrong person, everybody and their mother that's a cop shows up, and they just like have laser aim, and like you just like you're screwed. You basically have to start over if the cops show up because it's.
Yep.
Yeah, but dude, some of the glitches, man. Like on console, like I saw one where like the car pulls up and like the NPC like goes up into the air and then like goes in the car through like vertically, dude.
Jeez.
Like, and then it just drives off without them.
Wait,
Like,
Jeannie, did you try Cyberpunk or no?
I watched a lot of it, but I wasn't that hyped for it before like it came out. Like I
Mm.
never understood the crazy hype for it.
The-
I was like okay with The
Yeah.
Witcher, but
Well,
like,
did you ever play Fallout?
I played Fallout 4. Yeah, I played Fallout 3 a little bit and New
Well, okay.
Vegas. But
Well, what'd you think of that?
4 was like fine, but like it was I don't know. I kept comparing it to like Final Fantasy. You know what I mean? Because it's like or
Of
like
course.
a Pokemon. Yeah.
Because I feel like Cyberpunk and like and Fallout and like Skyrim and stuff like that had a very similar sort of like goal in mind, where it was like this big open world RPG, right? But I feel like Cyberpunk did not execute it the way that like Bethesda would, for example. Like
Yeah.
certain things are definitely missing from the game where I was like, I don't feel like this is worth playing.
I
Yeah.
think the first
Mhm.
25% of Cyberpunk is so goddamn good, bro. I loved it. I wanted more of that, and then like it just once Keanu Reeves really shows up and stuff like that, that's where the game, all the bugs and stuff, like it was like they made sure to get like the first like quarter of the game, like the bugs down and stuff. You didn't really encounter bugs until that part of the story was done.
I see.
Dude, the
Then it
ending,
got really bad.
the ending for that game is
So-
garbage.
Well, apparently there's multiple endings, but they all lead to the same
They
thing.
all suck. Yeah. Like bottom line is you either die like within like a few weeks or you die within a few months or something like that. It's like no matter what, you're
Yeah.
gonna die because you got a chip
Oh
stuck
my
in your head.
god.
It's yeah.
Uh,
But like, dude, when you're like going around doing jobs and stuff at the beginning with the partner guy, I forgot his name. Like, dude, it was what I wanted. I was like, dude, this feels like Blade Runner. And then all of a sudden,
Right.
it just, and then all of a sudden, it turns into like you're all messed up, and like you got to figure out what to do to like save yourself, and then you find out you can't really save yourself, and like it's just like, ugh. It
The
just turns
ending I
depressing.
wanted was for you to be able to find out some way to take that chip out and still live, right? But then you managed to get what's his character's name? Johnny Silverhand or something like that?
Keanu Reeves, yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted you to get him, like, bring him back to life or something, and then you go and take down Arasaka. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, that
Because
would've
that's
been
like
cool.
storybook, like happily ever after kind of ending, right? Nothing. You
Bro.
you just die no matter what. It's lame.
I want like to me it like I like the part of Blade Runner that I like is the fact that they're hunting down like rogue replicants. You know what I mean? Like I want a game like that where you have to like go after like rogue robot people. You know,
The closest thing that there is to that is probably it's
as a
ironically
cop,
is Fallout
kind of.
4.
You know,
The closest thing you have to that is Fallout 4 right now. That's it.
yeah.
Which
But, like-
and that's literally that's what it was based off of is like the synths in that game are based off of
Mhm.
Blade Runner, but they're not nearly as fleshed out.
Yeah, because I mean, like the first part of Blade Runner, where like Ryan Gosling shows up and he's like basically going to kill this dude, you know, because he found him. Like I like that. Like that feels more like a. Like they're called Blade Runners because they go after, you know, that's the whole point of it. And I was like, yeah, this is what a Blade Runner is, you know. And then like,
I still
Right.
like the first Blade Runner better than the second one.
I don't, man. I can't.
dude, yeah. I
It's
think
so
the second one's
slow
the
and
masterpiece.
dramatic, dude. I think the second one is like I think 10 years from now,
Easier to follow.
people are gonna look at Blade Runner 2049 as like something that got slept on hardcore.
I mean, because I
Yeah.
feel like there's more to learn from the first one though. Like there's still more of a metaphor there. Like I liked that about that movie.
Mhm.
I mean,
well,
That's fair.
I guess, yeah. But to me, like the whole idea that like in have you seen the second one, Kyle? Second Blade Runner?
No.
Have you seen either of them?
It'll change your life.
Dude,
No.
the second Blade Runner.
He's like, no, I have no idea what you guys talking about.
But what I've heard of it, but
Like,
what?
okay,
So they're movies, right?
yeah. So
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
so to me, there's two types. Well, I'm talking about these two types of movies. There's movies where you go and you kind of shut your brain off, like Fast and the Furious, you know,
Right.
like it's just entertaining. And then there's
Yeah.
movies that make you feel something. And Blade Runner 2049
Or
made
think
me,
a certain way.
yeah, and Blade Runner 2049 made
Mhm.
me feel something. And so like I think if a movie can make you feel something, then it's special, you know.
And it did its job, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah, I like
that's
those movies more.
that's what separates. Like, I feel like a lot of the once again attraction to like Marvel movies is that, because like even Iron Man, you feel something, but also it's an action movie.
Yeah, it kind of merges both
Marvel
of those
so much.
concepts. But then you got those Marvel movies where you're like, it didn't make me feel anything, you know? And it's
Black Widow.
I just like feeling, if I see an action movie, I like feeling pumped afterwards. Like, I'm like, fuck yeah,
Well,
I want to do that.
Wait, did you see Black Widow yet?
No.
Me?
Did anybody see Black Widow yet besides me and Danny?
Nah.
It was not worth it.
I would say it's worth the watch, but I've never watched it. That's one of those.
The only thing like besides David Harbour was like the post-credit scene. That's it.
I guess.
Because like the story was not good. Even the villain sucked.
I don't even remember the villain.
It was okay.
So it's even better.
It's
That says something.
But it's also not the Taskmaster from the comics. It's like another one of those things where they like mashed two characters together and brought it into it's
one
stupid.
and said that he was that's wild.
Which Loki did a great job with that with Kang, okay? But like that's because he's an actual big villain. But like when you do what you did with Taskmaster, it's like, what the heck, bro? Did you even try?
Right.
Bro.
Hey, real quick, can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
Go for it.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right.
Jeannie, I also just noticed I was looking at the corner of your webcam because like right now for some reason, like I don't know if you're like not streaming your video this whole time, but like it just says watch stream.
Finished one.
Oh, you click that and you can see his cam.
Okay, that's what I figured. I wasn't sure. So
this whole time you just been listening to him?
Yeah. It shows him.
Dang.
Like all of us.
I thought you saw
like
Annabelle back there.
Screen, and there's a little thing that has like multiple boxes in the top right corner.
Yeah, he's got the Annabelle doll down back there.
She's
Oh, dude, that's sick.
yeah.
He sleeps with it at
Dude,
night.
that's awesome.
Yeah, she's looking at me.
What if the head just moved?
I noticed Ellie.
Oh, hell no,
Ellie
I'm
sits you.
I have Ellie right here as well. I'm also obsessed with that.
I have that one sitting right over here. It's yeah.
Oh my god!
I still haven't played this game, man.
I had it. So I had to buy it. Like that was like an instant cop for me. I love.
Somebody send me a PS5, damn it!
Greatest piece of media content of all time. I'm telling you,
Yep.
it's true. I also have this thing. If we're really trying to nerd out,
dude, hell yeah, dude, that thing is sick. That's from Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Still haven't played that either,
dude. It's nuts. Death Stranding's wild.
I heard it's very
But
repetitive.
dude, Ellie's great. I love
it's
Last
like,
of Us.
That thing you were talking about, Danny, where you're like that Blade Runner-esque sci-fi in a game, like Death Stranding and I think Metal Gear Solid are like the closest you'll get to that, where it's like a dramatic kind of feel and like something that makes you feel something in the same kind of like.
I heard Detroit Become Human kind of does it too, but
I played a little bit of that. I didn't play it all yet.
Could be better. I don't know. Detroit, like I thought was a little.
The trailer was so badass, dude. I was like, I gotta play this game. And then when it came out, everybody's like, that's all right.
Yeah, there's some great moments to it, like the demo that they showcase with the whole thing with the little girl and the robot. You got to like convince to stop. That's a phenomenal level, but I think they kind of peaked there.
Oh, I hate to hear that.
Maybe at like one or two other parts. There's some cool parts, but like it kind of like. I don't know. I liked Heavy Rain better, but that's.
I gotta play that. But anyways, you wanted to talk about Halloween Kills.
Halloween, like yeah. So, what was that?
It's his roommate.
All right, that was my roommate. I'm muting myself.
Oh, your guy. I just heard something in the back. I was like, I don't know where that came from.
Man.
But yeah, Halloween Kills is supposedly their biggest thing with these movies. So they were renewed or whatever you want to call it, or cleared for 2 more movies.
Trilogy
with well, I guess a trilogy in the new sense, because I always forget her name, even though I shouldn't forget her name because she's like a legend.
I know who you're talking about.
Right.
I just can't think of her name. Yeah.
From Halloween. She played in the original when she was younger, and now she played in Freaky Friday.
She's got like a 3-name thing. I'm gonna try to look that up.
Yeah. I always forget her name.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
Something?
Jamie Lee Curtis? Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis?
I think so, yeah.
Jamie Lynn, maybe?
Almost done.
I don't know.
Huh? Okay. Yeah, we're almost done. We're gonna wrap up.
Jamie Lee Curtis, yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Okay.
Yes. So she is in the newer ones and stuff. It's like 30 years later or whatever it is, 20 years later from the originals, which was like 1970, whatever.
So the way they did it was like, what if all of them didn't happen except the first one? And they just continue from there.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it had good moments, but like I just felt like it wasn't written the best. It's kind of corny, and like some of the dialogue.
I think it went
stupid.
from Halloween 1 and 2.
No, they said it didn't even. I don't think so. I think it was. They even scrapped after the first one because the whole idea was
really?
like
because Jamie Lee's in the second one too, and then she's not in the ones after that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said it stops after
so maybe
the
it's
first
just
one.
the first one. Yeah,
but
it's
new,
like 30 years later after the first one, then probably
something like that. Yeah.
So it says a sequel to the 1978 film of the same name, while affecting a retcon of all previous sequels.
Mm-hmm.
The 2018 says that.
Yeah. And then
so it's the first Halloween.
But I like the second one a lot because it's like the next night, and she's like in the hospital, and he shows up to the hospital killer. I liked that, but
slaughters everyone.
It looks like this one kind of has a hospital element to it also. So I'm like, dude, like if you're gonna do it, I like the first one kind of did that, but I was like where they kind of completely redid, like it was a new concept basically. You know, I'm like, then do that with the second one. I don't want to see a hospital thing again, man. Like make yourself stand out. Don't lean on that.
They said that this one is supposed to be their most brutal one yet.
They say that about every freaking horror movie, man.
But well, as far as Halloween goes, though, because like Halloween has a name in the horror genre. Like Halloween is like up there. It's like Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Freddy Krueger.
I mean, yeah, like
or Nightmare on Elm Street.
The first Halloween
those are like the
started
top
the
dogs.
slasher genre. So
yeah, so they're saying that because there's always like a huge battle between like who's the best slasher. I'm a huge Jason Voorhees fan. I have a Jason Voorhees shirt, Ice 9 Kills shirt on right now.
I haven't seen any of them, man.
You've never seen any of the Friday the 13th?
I've only seen I've seen bits and pieces. I've seen is it Jason Lives? The one where like he gets struck by lightning and comes back to life? That one was
I think so. I
thought that one was good.
I think.
I thought it because it kind of knows. That's when they kind of realize, all right, this is like a cheesy kind of thing, and they start with like the 007 type intro. You know, like I liked that. And like
the first few movies, it makes it seem like Jason is still alive. Like he never. The whole thing is like, oh, he drowned in the lake when he was a kid, and he was deformed and all this stuff, and like his mom is what made him come back. But I believe it's in like the second, because the first movie, it's his mother that does all the killings.
Yeah.
And then the second one, he starts killing, but it just makes it seem like, because there was no element of like, oh, he came back to life or he came up from hell or whatever, his mom like did whatever. It made it seem like he never drowned, like he never actually died. If that makes sense. Because then in like Jason Lives or whatever, and the grave gets struck, and it like brings him back to life. That's the first ever showing of him coming to life from being dead.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I liked the way they did it, where it was like Tommy Jarvis and like all that stuff. I liked that.
Yeah.
That whole, like that. I think that's the funnest one in my opinion. But I haven't seen the other ones.
They need to redo one. The last one came out, I believe, in 2009.
Michael Bay produced it. Yeah, it was
like it's definitely due for like a new.
Everybody
wants to see Michael versus Jason because that would be huge.
Yeah.
There was a fan-made YouTube one that's actually really well made on YouTube. If you guys want to check that out, I won't give away who wins, but it's awesome. But they said that Freddy versus Jason took so much to make.
Yeah.
Like, it took a long time and financially took a lot to make.
And like all the rights and stuff like that with it is a nightmare.
Yep. But I think that would be insane to see. But yeah, they said that for Halloween Kills, it's supposed to rival Jason's kill count. So they basically have been trying to keep up with Jason because Jason is top dog. Jason's killed the most people according to all the movies. If we really want to get technical, in Jason X, he blew up a whole space station of people.
Oh, God, so bad.
There is no catching up to Jason technically, but for his actual slasher kills, they're trying to contest with him in Halloween Kills.
Dude,
so, we'll see.
I like. Don't get me wrong. I want to see Halloween Kills. I want it to be good. But if they just focus on like trying to top the kill count and the dialogue, so to me, as I've kind of gotten to the film and TV, and obviously now, being an actor, like I look at dialogue from such a different perspective, and it's like, dude, if the story doesn't have good dialogue, the whole movie sucks, man. Like it takes you out of it, and so it's like if they could get the plot and the dialogue right on top of that, then it's a good movie. But the last one, to me, the plot and the dialogue was a little iffy. So I just I don't know. It kind of ruined it a little bit for me, but I still enjoyed
dialogue
it.
Always kills it for me because it's like if the dialogue, like if I lose like my attention, if it drifts away during like the conversation, it's like pointless to me.
Dude,
like if I'm finding myself drifting, I'm like, so this conversation really doesn't mean anything to me because I can just literally like not pay attention to the whole conversation, and then the next scene happens, and I'm like, I didn't need to know anything that they just talked about because this happened.
Have you guys seen Death Proof? The Tarantino movie? Yeah.
No.
So the plot itself is kind of but the dialogue is so goddamn good. Kurt Russell just kills it in that movie, man. Like the first half of that movie, like I was like, dude, why have I never seen this? Because like people always say it's like Tarantino's worst movie because he's trying to be like one of those. He's trying to do it like he was a 70s grindhouse director, so like he doesn't really put a whole lot of effort into the plot elements as much, but the dialogue, dude, it's like Tarantino is definitely like the master of dialogue because Kurt Russell plays a killer, like he's a creep, right? Like the whole point is that he's driving around in this car and he's a stuntman, and his car has been like retrofitted so that like if you crash really bad, you're fine, and so he purposely goes and crashes into people to kill them, and then he just kind of recovers in the hospital, gets out, goes and does it again.
Interesting.
Damn, that's really wild.
But the whole
the concept of a movie.
Yeah, the whole beginning aspect of it, like you kind of see him like kind of going after some chicks, right? And like the dialogue and how Kurt Russell, like he's a creep, but the way he talks is kind of charming and stuff like that. It's it's so good, man. Like I really enjoyed watching that. Like I thought I wasn't gonna like it.
Death Proof.
Yeah, Death Proof.
I'll have to check that out.
Like
I'm a horror movie nerd, so I'll watch anything.
The rest of the movie is kind of ridiculous because it just goes like full Tarantino ridiculousness. But like, the first half is so solid, man. So good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So Chris, what'd you think with watching the trailer? Like, have you watched? You said you haven't watched the Halloween movies.
No,
okay, so like,
watch the first two.
For me, what bothers me about, and I'm sure you guys feel this way, like with certain trailers for movies, doesn't it feel like nowadays they give away the whole fucking movie?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Like in the Halloween one, it's like, like one of the comments I seen, I forget if it was on Facebook or a TikTok or wherever I was seeing, they're like, "Oh, cool! They showed all the kills in the trailer. Sick!" Like,
yeah.
You know who all is going to die just from the 1.5, 2 minute trailer. It's like, bro, why do you show all the kills in a slasher movie?
That's why I like M. Night Shyamalan, because his trailers never give away like anything, man. You're always like, what the hell's gonna happen in this movie? Because like
I really want to see Old.
Dude,
I know you guys just seen that.
You like M. Night Shyamalan, right? You like it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if you like M. Night Shyamalan, you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not my favorite of his, but it's definitely to me like it feels like he's back to me. Like he's back to making like original.
Wow.
Like
what was the last movie he made before Old?
Glass, which was like, I mean, it was a sequel to Unbreakable and Split. So if you want,
that was incredible. Yeah, that was really good.
Glass, the ending kind of pissed me off. Like I get what he was trying to do, but the way he did it kind of felt like he was spitting in our face in a way.
I don't quite remember the ending.
They both die, right?
All the main characters die in like really stupid ways.
That's what it is.
Like Bruce Willis gets drowned in a puddle. Like they shove his face in a puddle.
Yeah, that pissed me off. Yeah. Yes. Yep, I remember now.
But that pissed me off. Yeah, but like I get what he was trying to do with it. I liked how he kind of gave you hope, like they're gonna have this big badass fight in this tower, and then they just die in the parking lot. Like I get it. Like it's almost like he wanted you to hate the way it ended, but it's because it's realistic. It's like there's a society out there that's trying to like suppress superheroes, and so they just completely like what is it? What's his name? The guy who plays the guy from Split, James McAvoy. God damn, he's such a good actor, man.
Dude, he's incredible. Split was amazing. I loved Split.
I think Split is the best one out of the three, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It was just executed so well.
Sure.
Dude, that role, to play that role and all those personalities flawlessly, dude.
That scene
incredible.
when she says his real name and then you see him kind of like snap through the different characters, was like, bro,
dude,
this guy needs a nomination, bro. Like every single character like felt like a real person, like they were like trying to like get out. Like I was like, bro.
And to be able to switch to each one that fast, it was like when he's getting flashed with the lights, right? Mm-hmm. Every time he gets hit with the light, it switches personalities.
Yeah, because that was the way he explained it. It was like when the light's on you can talk. And so like they're all fighting for it. And so like you see all these characters come out and then the actual
he has like 9 different personalities, right?
Dude, it's like 23 or something crazy like that.
Oh, I thought it was only 9.
Well, because the whole point was that when he was abused, like every time he got like traumatically abused, like he would just like
traumatic experience.
Another personality was created to like help him deal with it. You know? And so like it was bad. But like and then when the main like personality comes out, like Kevin, the actual like person, and he's just like what's the date?
24.
Like, 24
different personalities.
But dude, it made me I like almost teared up, bro, because he was like, what day is it? And then when she tells him what day it is, he's like, the last day, like last time I remember like being in control, it was like 2 years ago. And I'm just like, bro, you're telling me he's been locked in his mind for 2 years? And then when she tells him what he's done, he's like, just kill me. He's like, there's a shotgun right over there, just kill me. I'm like, bro, like I felt so bad, but it was good because the way he said it was like it was believable, man. And yeah. He's an actor that I'm definitely gonna pay attention to.
100%.
Yeah,
I'm literally looking forward to anything like he comes out with that he's in. You know.
Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, I think we should probably wrap it.
Yeah, I feel like we've been on for like a long time.
Well, definitely have to do it again for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm down. I love doing podcasts for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, podcasts are fun. So
you've got a good podcast voice.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I have a podcast that I kind of started with my friends, but my friends are unfortunately my closest friends are all well, one of them has a serious girlfriend, but they all have kids, so they're like always busy. Yeah. They work and then take care of the kids, so it's like to run a podcast is like not many of them can sit and talk for an hour and a half, 2 hours or whatever to make an episode. So like we've put out a couple episodes and stuff. We filmed them all and did everything, but I was like, man, I really want to like find people that can do it all the time.
Danny, what's your secret?
So what he's saying is that he wants to be a permanent person on here, so we can just have 4 people.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that.
I mean that'd be cool. That wasn't what I was saying, but I mean it would be cool. Like
I was just joking
like
around,
doing podcasts.
If you want to, if we could coordinate it, I'm down.
Yeah. I'm cool with it for sure.
4 people definitely keeps the conversation going.
Yeah, there's never like any silence.
No, there's never a dull moment for sure. Yeah,
I feel like
everybody's my podcast is always 2 people.
Everybody's kind of waiting for their turn to say something about it, you know? Yeah.
Right.
Gives you more time to think about what you want to talk about too, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to hear everybody's different take on subjects too, you know? I think that's more entertaining than like 2 people going back and forth.
That means you too, Genie. You can talk more.
Yeah, I know. I think Genie is a listener. He likes to listen a lot. He just takes it in.
I know. I like...
He's a philosopher.
I do be thinking a lot, and I feel like I just
do be thinking.
I feel like I don't like. I'm afraid that I'm gonna say like something that's the wrong thing, where it's like not like the wrong thing, like inappropriate, but like something untrue, where it's like my opinion about it is like that's not true. Where did you hear that, you fool?
But dude, that's the whole thing. Is like you're supposed to speak up and create conflict and stuff. That's conversation. You know.
By the way, blue raspberry and raspberry is still not the same thing.
I never said they were.
Yes, you did. You said raspberry and blue raspberry are the same thing. It's just that blue raspberry is blue. That's legit.
That's the main distinction, but they don't taste the same. I'm saying, but like you can look at them and they're different colors. You know, they're a different thing.
Dad said that clickbait tastes like bug juice.
Bug juice?
Yeah.
I think Shock said that.
Like the old little juice bottles?
Mm-hmm.
Bug juice?
But he likes it?
Shit.
He always goes, it's all right.
Yeah, I know.
He always says that.
I'm just
I want to try
waiting-
it though.
I'm just waiting for one day for him to be like, God damn, that was good. Like something, you know? Because I know he never
It's
will.
funny too. I noticed, Danny, you always talk about hype sauce. The first G Fuel I ever got to try was hype sauce.
It's good stuff.
It's the only one I have, dude. I
good
got
stuff.
this one, and then my Maiden's Blood finally came in, but I'm not opening it. So
Oh,
Dude,
that looks good. I gotta
I
check
got
it.
two
out.
tubs
Yeah, he's
of
got
it,
2
bro.
tubs of hype sauce.
nice. There you go.
Dude, I'm
Dude,
like 70 points away from getting the year supply in the rewards thing.
nice.
Damn, bro.
It's crazy.
See, the one thing with G
just
Fuel,
get-
like I'm a coffee drinker, so I deal with caffeine. But like, dude, like when I started drinking G Fuel the first few times, I'm like cracked out and
Bro.
like feel like my heart's gonna beat out of my chest. I'm like, am I doing something wrong?
Bro,
Like I drink coffee every day.
That's insane.
I just took
Three
I'm
scoops.
like,
I took pre-workout today for like the first time in a year, and I forgot how like annoying that itchiness feeling from the beta alanine is. And so like the whole time I was just like uncomfortable at the gym. I was like, bro, this is annoying. Like,
wait,
I don't-
what is it
It's
from?
like in your throat or like where?
no, like normal
like everywhere.
pre-workout. Like you
Oh
get,
yeah,
you get pre-workout, and has all this extra stuff in it to like, you know, help
get
you.
the extra
yeah.
pump. Yeah,
And like
I used to take No Explode. That
Yeah.
shit's fucking
so
nuts.
beta alanine is something that they put in a lot of pre-workouts, and the side effect of beta alanine is it makes you feel itchy. And until you build up a tolerance, and so like I just felt itchy, and like your whole body, like your arms, your legs, everything, and you feel warm.
That's got to be that's like the worst feeling when you're trying to work out too. You can't be like in mid fucking rep, be like, oh my fucking shit, it's just
well,
like
that's the thing
crazy.
is like it's only when you're like kind of thinking about it. When you're not thinking about it, you don't notice it.
Okay.
So like when you're
Got it.
sitting there like resting or like, you know, like pacing, waiting for your next set, you're just like, God damn, man, like this
Yeah.
sucks. Like what? Like why do people like this?
Now I'm itchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like scratching my belly. I was like, "Fuck." That reminds me of Raw. Have you seen Raw, Kyle?
Bro, we're gonna keep going on. We gotta
I
stop.
don't think so.
Sorry.
GD finally
Cannibal
talks. We
movie.
gotta go, bro.
Cannibal movie. Yeah,
Nah, but
It's a movie.
yeah, cannibal movie called Raw. It's really good.
Oh,
So
I'll have to
good.
check
Or
it
just a
out.
cannibal movie.
I'll
It's
check
so
it
good.
out.
I have it on Blu-ray. I also
Nice,
just got.
nice.
Jeannie, we
couple-
definitely gotta watch.
Yep.
We gotta watch something that you haven't seen.
Oh
when it-
yeah,
when
I'm
it
We
comes.
need to do the watch party to have you guys watch Fear Street. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'm actually
I'd watch it again. I like them. So
and like I definitely want to. I was so focused on like what the hell is going on? Where's this going? So like
yeah,
I feel like going back and just enjoying it for what it is. Like yeah,
dude, the ending of the first one, like I'm not going to give anything away, but like one of the kills, I was like,
I know which
I
one you're
was
talking
not-
about too. I was like,
I'm
oh,
sure you
that-
do,
I was like,
because
what
it's
is-
like
that was
in the beginning. It seems like one of those kind of heartfelt, sort of like
like Stranger Things almost.
Heartfelt's kind of like the weird way to say it, but like one of those like kind of kiddish, even though they're rated R, it's like kind of a kiddish horror movie. Like all the friend, everybody's gonna be fine, and like it's gonna be they're gonna get them, you know, and then
I didn't.
You're like,
I didn't
"Fuck."
realize it was rated R until the end. And then I was like, wait a minute, this
Oh,
is
yeah.
rated R, isn't it? Or like somebody said an F word, and I was like, okay. And then after like the third F word, I was like, oh, this is rated R, isn't it?
oh yeah,
You know,
yeah,
'Cause
no, they
because
they didn't hold back anything. Because like they all play like high school kids, but I'm pretty sure like most of those kids are like either our age or maybe
Yeah.
a little younger than us.
And that's the one thing
I'm
that
like-
always pissed me off about like PG-13 movies is like they'll say like
Yeah.
frick or something like that. I'm like, bro,
so annoying. Just drop the F-bomb.
everybody's gone to high school. They know that little kids cuss because they they want to be adults and shit. You know.
Yeah, I can't stand it. If in most cases for horror movies, if it's not rated R, I probably won't watch it. In most
Fair.
cases.
Insidious
But-
is PG-13, isn't it?
See that I think one of them is. I think they ended up switching to rated R though. Well, I don't know, because like
I was
nothing
surprised.
really insane happens in Insidious to where it should get the rated R rating. It's scary, but there's like no gore. There's no
I was
anything
surprised.
like that.
I was surprised that Old was PG-13. I thought it was rated R after I watched it because it's there's some body
Yeah.
horror in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, Insidious is PG-13.
I thought so. Yeah.
But it's like it's scary to a degree. It's got a really good story. I love the Insidious series.
I
But,
liked the first two.
nothing to be rated R.
I liked the
you know?
first two.
I love the actors. I always forget that that's another actor that I know that I try to keep up with like everything. Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, he's good.
He's incredible. He does the Conjuring movies. He did in the Tall Grass.
I haven't seen that one.
Dude, that movie's wild. I mean, it's a Stephen King. It's based off a Stephen King book, so you know it's gonna be crazy. But yeah, he just always does a great job.
Yeah,
always kills his role. And that woman too that plays Lorraine Warren in Conjuring, she always does great too. I always forget her name too. I'm terrible with actor names.
Dude, I just watched the other day because obviously, like, you know, getting into all the acting stuff. Like I never realized until like I stopped and thought about it. I was like, wait a minute, like I forgot that like on a movie set, it's like dead quiet, man. It's like people don't think about how hard it is to like act when it's dead silence. And like you're literally pretending like there's noises and things that you see and stuff like that, you know. And I was watching them film The Conjuring, like the B-roll stuff for that, and Wolf of Wall Street, and I was like, dude, that's so crazy, man. Like, I'd
love to see B-roll for both of those.
Watching
nuts in their own way.
Yeah, watching her try to like pretend like she's seeing stuff, you know. I was like, dude, like that's so hard to like not make it like awkward or seem silly, you know.
And she does really well.
Yeah, she does a good job. Yeah. And then Wolf of Wall Street, like Leonardo DiCaprio is crazy, man. Because like you'll see him like standing there, smiling and stuff like that, and all of a sudden they go and action, and then he's just like, "What's going on?" This like, and I'm like, "Bro, it's like just snaps into it. It's crazy."
Just a switch. Yeah.
I think we saw the same clip where he's about to like he goes into the handshake.
Yeah.
I was like really in awe.
It's like, whoa.
Like he looks so professional, like before and after the take. Like, damn.
Or like they show him at the party scene when he's like, "We're gonna take the fucking roof off this place," you know, like they show him kind of like saying it. He's like, "All right, we're gonna take the roof off," and then all of a sudden they go and action. He's like, "We're gonna take the fight," and I'm like, "Oh my god, dude!" He just turned it on, man. It's so cool, you know.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. He's definitely. I can't believe it. Was his first Oscar was the
Revenant
one where he like where he had to like sleep in a deer carcass or something like that.
Horse carcass, yeah.
That was ridiculous. He should have gotten it for Wolf of Wall Street.
I just seen a TikTok of this guy describing everything he did for that role. Dude, shit's fucked. Like he would like literally like one of the scenes he's like flowing down a river. He would have to like go out in ice cold waters, and he did it time and time again, like over and over again, to get that shot right.
That movie's beautiful.
Prepare himself for that.
I love the beginning of that movie.
And I really want to.
Dude, the opening of that movie when they show like the camp that they're in at the beginning, right? Because obviously he has to get stuck on his own. It starts out and you see his whole camp get like raided by Indians, and the way they do this sweeping shot is so beautiful, man. The score for that movie's good too, you know.
Oh yeah.
And dude, I don't know what it is, but it's like I don't know if it's an instinctual thing, but the sound of like an arrow whizzing by just kind of makes me like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Something about it, man.
I think what it is like in that case, I mean, it's like arrow like swishing by is like scary in general, but like that moment where like that one shot starts and like the guy like they're like in mid conversation, then like right there, like and so like you just fear arrows for the rest of the film.
Yeah, that's a badass movie, dude.
But it's
I gotta watch that one. Yeah, it's on my list.
Just absolutely.
He's like, I absolutely squelched that guy. I'm sorry.
What?
He's playing COD right now. He's like, I just absolutely squelched that guy. Yes.
Yeah, no, watch The Revenant, and then Chris and Jeannie, you guys got to watch Fear Street.
Fear Street.
Or we got, I don't know if we have time to watch
the watch party. Yeah,
I'd be down.
You guys do the watch party thing, like where it's like through like the app or whatever, and like it all plays at the same time for all of us.
I mean,
you can
literally just like
Discord stream it.
Yeah, somebody just streams it on Discord.
Oh, nice. Okay,
so we can be like
they have apps where like certain movies you can like, I don't know if it's certain movies or any movie, but like you can play it, and like we used to have them with like Twitch streams and stuff with my friend Leah. She would always have it with like her following, so like you could join this page or whatever, and it'd be showing the movie in like her real time. So like no matter when you joined it, it's still playing based off when she started it. But like everybody could get in chat and just talk about the movie and like hang out and stuff.
What you can do is you can have Ben Jammins does this. He actually has a channel where if you join it and you're not a certain role, then you actually can't talk. And so like if you have like the mod role, or if you're the extra person that's hosting, right? You're the one streaming it, so everyone can join your stream and they can watch the movie with you, and they can talk in the chat, but they can't talk. So you don't have people like in the middle of the movie going, "Hey, Ma, where's the popcorn?" Like you don't have anybody like doing crap like that. It's really just you watching the movie, and that's it. It's pretty nice. But you can totally do that on a Discord server if you wanted to do that.
Nice.
Like, I think for like subs only or whatever, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely all have to be in touch.
For sure.
And then, Kyle, after this, I'm gonna record this Phase X hydration review for you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask you if like what you have for me to edit this week because I got a busy ass fucking week.
Wait, okay, I'm stupid.
So, and Thursday. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Are you using a green screen?
Who?
You.
No.
No.
How is it still bright in your room?
It's the bokeh.
I use NVIDIA Broadcast.
Oh.
So this is all like my room, but it's like this is all blurred out, and it's just me. And then I have a ring light in front of me and lighting in the back of me.
It looks like noon over there, bro. It looks like it's noon, dude.
That's insane. I have lighting behind me, and then lighting in the front.
Wait, yeah, I didn't think about that. Like his time of day didn't change the whole call.
The power of lighting, boys. The power of lighting.
It's 9:30.
It's 10:30 for me.
It's almost 1 a.m. for me.
Oh man. All right.
I'm a night owl anyway. So
let's call it, boys.
It's 12 o'clock at night. Okay, yeah, that was a good good podcast.
Yeah, it was for sure.
Well, maybe Kyle's a permanent member. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We'll find out.
It's totally up to you guys. It's all up to you.
I still need to see how the
I'm here
turns
for it.
out.
It's fun.
It looks good.
I love having conversations.
It's really serious, integral part of this.
I think the only thing I would change, Chris, is maybe change the color of the names to white because like the blue kind of blends in with some stuff. But,
I can do that.
Okay. But yeah. All right.
So what do you have real quick just while you're on the call just to make it easier? You're filming the phase hydration?
Phase X hydration,
and then okay, and then I'm gonna try to get a Fortnite one done this week.
Okay.
What else do you have planned to knock out this week? Because I had mentioned to you guys in the beginning like what I do. So like all this week I'm gonna be in the shop with my buddy because we have a lot to film, and then it's crazy because he showed the shop next door. That whole area that he is in is a bunch of different like auto shops and stuff. And he had showed them like the videos I've done for him, like the TikToks and stuff. They're like, we want to hire him. So now I got to work with them and make some videos for them and run some of their social media. All that stuff to me doesn't take long. Yeah. But I'm going to be really busy with that because it'll be my first week handling their stuff too. And then Thursday, I had mentioned to you before the Nelk Boys. They do the Full Send's their brand and YouTube, whatever. They're coming because they made their own seltzer. It's called Happy Dad. So, but instead of the skinny cans like all the other ones, they put them in a beer can. It's like a seltzer for the boys. And it's dropping in Florida now because they started it out in California and they've moved it to other states in time. But they're in Florida right now, so they're doing a huge meetup Thursday in Tampa, and I'm going to go to it and get their seltzer and hang out. So like Thursday for me is like all booked. Okay. And then all the other days I'm just like at the shop. And I can edit at the shop. That's what's really cool. I have my own office. Yeah,
I'll send you the Phase X hydration footage tonight, and then after that, I'll be honest, I don't really know. Like I feel like I don't know. I'm thinking I want to try and focus more on quality over quantity, so it's not necessarily like we need to pump something out every day.
Pump everything out. Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing, like, be consistent still, but like daily videos are not necessary.
Yeah.
But that's all up to what you want to do, but like consistency is like the biggest thing. I'd say minimum like 3 videos a week.
Yeah,
because you have all the content to do it. Yeah, 3 to 4.
Okay.
You just have content between the podcasts and gaming videos, and the reviews and shit. Reaction videos. I mean, you can do so many things.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll call it there.
Keep it going. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Until next time.
All right. Have a good night, guys. It's good talking to you.
Have a good night.
Peace.
See ya.
Good to meet you.